Number one, it's been said back in the locker room that you've been, how shall I say, talent scouting out in the Pittsburgh area, trying to find yourself a new posse of sorts, and I wanted you to come out here today and tell the fans all about this new posse that you've been looking for.
I have heard that rumor.
Let me explain something to you. Everybody knows me, my history, along with my criminal record. You know that I have done things that people don't normally do. I go places that you don't normally go. Well, the last few weeks, I met this little cat, and he challenged me of all things to play Madden. Madden 2003, and my little buddy Kevin, he beat me in Madden, and he cheated. I decided that Kevin would go out and find me a crew, and I had to go all the way to Bud Elementary School and get me a new posse, and I want y'all to meet him right now.
Did you say elementary school?
Man, this nigga what? I told you, don't ever give it to him. Give it to him.
Not exactly Mustafa Saeed, but I guess it'll work.
I told you, don't ever try to figure me out, because just when you thought, what? Just when you thought you would see new guy do it, I did it again. And now look, I went out to Bud Elementary School. And found me some cats that really do wrestle. You understand? The trophies, Kevin will tie you up in a knot like a bow tie. These cats are the future guys that you will see eventually in this ring and in other companies to come that I won't mention. But believe this, tonight, Bob Mahoney, me and you got a little deal to do, and we're going to do something that people in Pittsburgh probably ain't never seen before. But in the meantime, me and my group gonna go in the back and we're gonna drink some milk and cookies.
Just when you think you have all the answers, New Jack changes the question.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for New Jack, and let's hear it for the Ball Elementary Wrestling Team. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as is customary, everybody up on their feet. Let's go. Here we go. Boys, what we're going to do is we're going to count down from 10. Once we hit 0, we're going to hit that music, and then Junior make as much noise as long as you possibly can. Everybody together. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
air. The moment of truth has finally arrived. Super Indy 3, 8-man, one-night single elimination tournament to crown the new IWC Super Indy Champion. Joe Dombrowski at ringside, alongside my good friend ring announcer Chuck Roberts. And Chuck, we are set for quite a memorable, historic night.
Well, there's absolutely no question, and Joe Dombrowski, thank you very much for inviting me here with you this week. As,
well, anything's better than Kingdom James.
Absolutely, conspicuous by his absence is Kingdom James, and of course, obviously here tonight we have Super Indy 3, and inside the ring, what a way to kick off tonight's show. Unbelievable competitors, a youngster, if you will, in Glenn Spector, and of course the future Chris Sabin.
No doubt about it. Chris Sabin has been making a mark all over the world with his recent success in the NWA TNA promotion, as well as here at IWC. Sabin is undefeated in one-on-one competition. He's defeated fabulous John McChesney, Joe Legend. He's even defeated AJ Styles as both men end that first sequence in a standoff. Chris Sabin has been out for quite some time with a knee injury. It's been a couple months since we've seen him. You gotta wonder if there's gonna be any ring rust leading into this matchup. He can't have that against a guy like Glenn Spector, especially considering where he's been lately.
Absolutely. And what a way to start off Super Indy 3 as both men in the center of the ring. As you can tell, action starting fast and furious. It's the way you want to open up a program. It's the way you want to open up a supercard, if you will, in Super Indy 3 by having these two young competitors. Of course, coming all the way, both of these guys traveling quite a distance here to West Mifflin, Detroit, Michigan, being Chris Sabin, and of course, Castle Rock, Maine for Glenn Spector.
Fireman's carry takedown into the armbar. Glenn Spector, we talked about his recent bout overseas, a recent tour of Japan over the past week, as Spector takes Sabin down again, competing for the DDT promotion, as well as our announcer's favorite program, Future Ultimate Combat Kings.
Well, I haven't had a chance yet to check that out. I'll have to check my local listings, Joe.
You know what that stands for, right?
You caught me off guard here, Joe.
Ultimate. Well, never mind. Parabolic back to the drop kick. Sabin has Spector backpedaling to the outside. Charge, but he puts on the brakes. Spector moving out of the way. Enough presence of mind early on.
Well, you know what? When you're in Super Indy 3, you're in a tournament style. And of course, what you want to do, Joe, is you really want to slow the pace down because good chance, obviously, each competitor wants to wrestle 3 times here tonight, as you know, to be in the championship, to be in the finals of the tournament. So you want to keep it kind of slow. And I would be very surprised in the opening round matches if you see a lot of high-flying moves from these guys.
Well, everybody has their own strategy. Everybody wants to play to their own specific strengths to come out on the top of this tournament. Spector with a snapmare, hard spinal tap to the spine of Sabin. Into the cover, count of 2 by referee CJ Sensation. No stranger to Super Indies himself, a participant in Super Indy 1.
Yeah, unfortunately, of course, is noticed on past IWC wrestling shows that he was sidelined by nothing short of a horrific neck injury.
Interrupted, we have a cover 2 count, but Sabin gets the shoulder up.
Well, it's great to see CJ Sensation in wrestling in one capacity or the other, and being in the stripes is not a bad place for him, Joe.
Spector now back to Sabin in the corner. Of course, Sensation recently participating in our Super Indy Spotlight interview segment on IWCWrestling.com. Huge back kick by Chris Sabin to Glenn Spector. Sabin gonna fly a little jumping, spinning heel kick into the cover. Sensation down. He got a count of 2. Sabin might want to fly to counteract Glenn Spector's mat presence. Glenn Spector, a great mat tactician, among the best mat workers in IWC. Sabin's gonna have to fly around that ring in order to stay off Glenn Spector's grasp.
Look out. A fireman's carry into a jawbreaker of sorts. Oh, man.
Huge forearm uppercut, very stiff. Shades of that Japanese influence into the cover, another kick out.
Very close near falls here earlier on in the contest. As you can tell, both of these guys, their goal right now, Joe, get the 3-pin, get back to that locker room, shower, get ready for their second round match.
Snap suplex by Spector, floats over into a variation of the Dragon Sleeper by the looks of things. You know, we talked earlier about Super Indy Spotlight. A lot of wrestling insiders were pegging Glenn Spector to get the victory.
That's an interesting pick. You know, if you were going to ask me, Joe, I'll be very honest with you, as you've checked out, or as you well know for the website, my pick here tonight is Super Hentai. However, a good dark horse pick would be Glenn Spector. The one thing we know about Glenn Spector is he's come a long way in a short period of time. A relative unknown when he wore the mask along with Devil Budokan and the Devil's Advocates. But right now, he's certainly made a name for himself, and he could easily come out on top here tonight.
Many experts have said this is Glenn Spector's year, but what a test in the first round to get through the future Chris Sabin. Up and over into the sunset flip. Sabin, the momentum carries him out, hits a basement dropping to Spector. Sabin at one time the longest reigning NWA TNA X Division champion of all time. What a test for Glenn Spector, and this is just the first round. If you are Glenn Spector, if you do beat Sabin, what are you going to have in future rounds?
Oh, it's definitely going to be tough, any way you look at it. I mean, the card reads like the who's who in Super Indie Wrestling, or in indie wrestling for that matter, as we well know. But the one thing I think tonight, and the word of the night here at Super Indy 3, is definitely going to be momentum. It's going to be momentum, because what you need to do is obviously you need to win to advance, but you need momentum in that ring. You need to be hot, you need to get a good opening win, and whomever scores this
jumping enziguri kick by Sabin, stagger Spector.
And whoever scores this win, Joe, all the way. Bobby almost put him into a delayed in. Look out! Oh!
Another near fall.
Was that three?
I think that was only a counter two. Glenn Spector, he's trained so hard. He's trained so well. He's gotten his body into such great shape. His mind into such great shape. When Sabin going for the cradle shocks, Spector counters.
Look out! Oh!
Choke slam. Looks like he might have hit him across the knee.
He definitely caught him in the lower back.
Spector into the cover. Oh, but Sabin able to sneak out the shoulder. A lot of speculation as to exactly what Glenn Spector was doing over there in Japan. A lot of rumors about his behavior over there. In fact, something about a Japanese monkey banana or something to that effect. But that's neither here nor there, as Spector in full control of the future Chris Sabin.
He definitely has controlled this match thus far. And both of these guys just going back and forth. Look out, sunset flip, no. Nice drop toe hold. Both of these guys just kind of get a little bit of tit for tat in the ring right now.
Spector hits a Lamai strong cradle. Sensation in the Sabin reverses the momentum. He's got to. Oh, man.
Joe, every move in that ring so far has had a reversal by one guy.
Such a simple move like that has led to so many pinfalls. Another near fall situation there. Just a simple switch in momentum is enough to make the difference between a win and a loss.
Well, that's what I told you.
Now Spector with the roll through. He's got the shoulders trapped. Another kick out.
Well, I told you, word of the night here for me. Today's definitely
Wait
momentum.
a second. Cradle shot. Sabin hit the cradle shot. Spector, good night. Chris Sabin showing no signs of ring rust. Back with a bang. Back in full effect here in the IWC. Chris Sabin advances to round 2 of Super Indy 3. And time will only tell who his opponent will be. But regardless, a tremendous fight for Glenn Spector. Obviously, the ring rust, the jet lag was in there for Spector after coming off of the huge Japanese tour just yesterday. Spector has nothing to be ashamed about. A great fight and a great showing of respect. There will be other days for Glenn Spector, but tonight could be Chris Sabin's night. round action continues here in IWC Super Indy title tournament. CM Punk taking on the original player from the Himalayas, Sanjay Dutt. Joe Dombrowski along with Chuck Roberts here. What are you going to say, Chuck?
Well, I got to tell you, Joe, I mean, it's tough right now. I'm pulling double duty, so I'm getting into the ring, getting out of the ring. But what a way to start off Super Indy 3. Obviously, the future Chris Sabin getting a fantastic win over Glenn Spector. But right now, what a way to follow it up with CM Punk and Sanjay Dutt. This is some of that international flavor that we have talked about here in this year's Super Indy 3. Of course, one of our 3 international participants here.
But Chuck, here's my problem. Why is Sterling James Keenan at ringside? He has no business in this tournament. He's not in this tournament. His alliance with CM Punk has meant nothing but interference and constant double teaming. We don't need that in a tournament with this much prestige.
Well, I couldn't agree with you more. I have no idea what the alliance is between these two, but in recent weeks here at IWC Wrestling, and of course here on WBGN, 10 o'clock on Saturdays. A little plug there, sorry Joe, thought I'd throw it in.
If they're watching us now, they know what.
Well, hey, you know what? If you tune in, you might think we switch times and channels and stations and times and everything, and we don't. We stay in one station, one time every week. But regardless of that, here's the deal. The deal is we've seen Sterling James Keenan often be escorted to the ring with CM Punk. Why should it be any different when CM Punk's in that ring?
And that's the thing, Chuck. We see Sanjay Dutt snapping up an octopus hold very early on. Sanjay Dutt using that lightning fast speed to his advantage. The 3-year pro trained by Larry Sharp. Sanjay Dutt also becoming a major star in the NWA TNA promotion. CM Punk, of course, competing for the NWA, competing for Ring of Honor. He's been just about everywhere, 0-1 in Japan. But CM Punk, you want to talk about a dirt as CM Punk snaps off the hip toss. Sanjay Dutt counters. Takedown by Sanjay Dutt into the armbar. The key here is endurance. CM Punk has gone 30, 45, 60, even 90 minutes in a match without a rest. He has got to be the most well-conditioned athlete in this tournament.
Well, the last time I saw live in that ring Sanjay Dutt compete, it was at the Cambria County War Memorial in Johnstown, and what a showing for Sanjay Dutt. It was absolutely a terrific night. And again, to be invited here to Super Indy 3, because I'm sure he demanded to be in it, but of course to be invited to Super Indy 3 is an honor by itself, and what a better competitor to have than Sanjay Dutt.
Nip up into the head scissors, takedown. Sanjay Dutt go behind on Punk. Punk with the reversal, however. Dutt charges in, catches himself on the rope. Springing up with a satellite head scissors, and Punk is dazed. And the crowd rallying behind Sanjay Dutt as he takes Punk to the outside.
Folks, the one thing we want everybody to recognize here with Super Indy 3 is the similarity in these matches.
Wait a second, Dutt's gonna fly, it looks like. Sterling James Keenan better look out. Baseball slide counters, and Punk hammering away on the outside. Hard shots to the back.
But we want everybody to recognize what I was saying. Look out.
Oh! Sanjay counters through almost a modified 619 with drop into the face. What was that?
It's tough to tell from my vantage point, but I'm pretty sure Sterling James Keenan got his 2 cents in.
Sanjay flies with a tope code halo, and both Sterling and Punk are taken down. That's what both of them deserve. Sterling and Punk, a bit of a music cue outside moments ago, and Sanjay Dutt made them pay for it, and listen to the crowd pop for the original player from the Himalayas.
Joe, you're almost as excited as everyone else here.
I gotta be excited. It's Super Indy 3.
It is Super Indy 3.
We've been waiting for weeks for this night.
Absolutely, but I hope your ticker can hold out until future matches.
Hey, I put up with Kingdom James for the past 10 months. I'm ready for anything. Springboard Punk catches into a power slam. Great resourcefulness by CM Punk.
Nicely done by CM Punk, and that's absolutely the game plan CM Punk has to have in a match against Sanjay Dutt, and that's it. Slow it down and keep to those power moves. And what a better move than a power slam to slow that pace down. It's right now you can tell Sanjay Dutt's playing in the hands of CM Punk. Look out.
Underhook by Punk, up and over into a double arm backbreaker.
Almost looked like a pedigree,
Into
Joe.
the cover.
Look out.
Count of 2, says referee, colorblind ref Bruce Gray, who does not know what color CM Punk's shorts are.
Well, one thing we know, regardless of color, he's wearing the stripes in that ring. He's the 3rd man in charge.
Another cover off the hard shot to the spine, but another kick out.
And CM Punk, of course, is going to get on the bad side of officials. You don't want to do that earlier on in this evening. You don't want to get on their bad side, because it's a long night for these guys, and it's going to be a long night for the winner, Joe.
Sanjay Dutt tries to battle back.
Sanjay
nips the cat. Punk charges with a dropkick. We talked about Super Indy Spotlight earlier. CM Punk was so unbelievably cocky in those interviews. Talked about wanting to smash babies and hear people cry. CM Punk, in his mind, believes there's only one man rightful to win this tournament, and that's CM Punk. That could be a mistake.
Oh, it could definitely be a mistake. I'm not into it. I'm not going to...
Look out for Sterling. Look out for Sterling getting cheap shots in. Damn him.
The referee being distracted.
Sterling James Keenan, he has not been the same ever since losing the IWC heavyweight title to Dean Radford. He's been a wreck mentally, just an emotional wreck. And he's taking out on Sanjay Dutt, helping out CM Punk with his Super Indy Championship tournament. We need some officials out here to get him out of here. This should be a one-on-one affair. This should prove the best professional wrestler, bar none. Punk went for the suplex. Sanjay counters out of it. And once again, there's that speed as he ducks the clothesline. Sanjay comes up and gets caught in a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. Into the cover. Dutt kicks out after 2.
Well, I'm telling you what, this is going over very well between these two. As you can tell, what they want to do inside that ring is they want to prove that not only are they going to beat this guy, they're going to beat the next guy in the second round, and they're going to take it all the way to the championship. And CM Punk wants to do it for sure.
Punk hooking up Sanjay again. Suplex coming up, going to delay it a little, let all of the blood rush to the brain of Sanjay Dutt. Making him think about it a little. If Kingdom were here, he'd say, looks like 6 o'clock.
It definitely does. And if anything's going to... Look at this. Joe.
Unbelievable power.
Joe, do you have your stopwatch on this one? That'll have to be. Joe, by my watch, that's a good 45 seconds.
Unbelievable.
What a way to slow down that pace in that ring.
But look at Punk showing off that ego, drawing with the fans instead of going right into the cover. And that split second cost him.
You know what, Joe? You're not going to win Super Indy or a Super Indy match by a nonchalant cover like that, especially Sanjay Dutt. He'll throw, you know what he'll do? He'll dislocate his shoulder to kick out on a 3 count. Trust me.
That kid does have a lot of heart. CM Punk, no stranger to Super Indy tournaments, competing in our inaugural tournament back in March of 2002, defeating Chris Hero in the first round before succumbing to Super Hentai in the semifinals, the eventual winner, of course.
Absolutely. And, I got to tell you, it's not just because he won Super Indy 1. He's my pick here for Super Indy 3. I think he has what it takes, especially as much as he's grown in his ability in that ring and his wrestling style, Joe, because that's what it's all about. It's about a good wrestling style, and I think Hentai's going to pull it out, but Hentai's later on. Right now it's Sanjay and CM Punk.
That's right. Only time will tell as Sanjay Dutt battles back with the help of the fans. Elbows to the midsection. Again, using that speed. Into a crucifixion, now turns into a sunset flip. He's got it covered, but Punk immediately comes back on top of Sanjay. Another reversal into a cover.
And what I was saying earlier on,
jumping
Joe,
side kick by Sanjay Dutt. Listen to the fans erupt again.
They love it. They absolutely love it.
Sanjay has been away from IWC for way too long, and the fans definitely have missed him.
Joe, what I was saying earlier on is you're going to see a similarity in all these matches because that's what Super Indy is about. That's what these independent wrestlers are about. And their weight class, don't forget, it's an awesome weight class. It's adrenaline. It's all about a neckbreaker, Joe.
Sanjay Dutt, a house of fire off the neckbreaker. It's a near-fall situation. CM Punk just able to kick out.
And Sanjay Dutt, a little disappointed that he didn't get the pin there. But he can't get too disgruntled, Joe. He's got to keep on top of him. And if that didn't work, go to plan B. And if plan B doesn't work, go to plan G, E, F, whatever you got, use it.
Oh, if Sanjay Dutt gets too disgruntled right now, it could spell the end for him. He's got to keep a calm mind. He's got to stay focused because CM Punk is one of the toughest tests in this tournament. Catches him off the buckle.
Oh!
Dutt counters into a modified DDT. I don't think he got all of it, but he's covering him still.
Oh! And I have to say, right there, a little hesitation on the part of Bruce Gray, but maybe he was caught off guard. He did catch a piece of that DDT. It was enough.
I think that hit him right in the forehead. It might have dazed Punk a little, and now Sanjay taking the time to scale the ropes. Could be the Hindu press. Hindu press. Look at the agility, almost landing on his feet. Punk comes back with a shining wizard.
I think Sanjay Dutt knew what was happening there. He might have noticed CM Punk getting up.
Cover.
Oh, again.
Near fall. Dutt just barely able to kick out. What a tremendous exchange between these two we just saw. Countering the Hindu press. Dutt landing on his knees. Punk coming with the Shining Wizard. Almost the end of the match.
Again, a little bit of hesitation. I don't like to see this come down to officiating. I don't like to see it in wrestling. I don't like to see it in any sport. But once again, if I may just say, Bruce Gray a little bit more hesitant on that 3-pin. Joe, I don't know if you saw it.
Well, Bruce Gray has a long night ahead of him here. We have so many outstanding matches tonight. CM Punk might have been setting up for that Pepsi plunge. That's how he defeated Hero in the first round back in Super Indy 1. Dutt trying to counter, but here we go. Pepsi plunge attempt. Sonjay's trying to counter it, trying to make himself into dead weight. Can Punk muscle him over? Oh, Dutt counters. Shoulder block to the midsection.
Joe, it's so tough to go back and forth when you're up top like this.
Both men on the top rope. What a distance both men tumbled, and Punk may be out.
I was about to say anything can happen on that top rope, and we just saw it.
Do or die for Sonjay. Can he hit the pin on Punk? He's got a 3 count. Oh my gosh. So close. And even Sonjay can't believe it.
I was about to ring the bell there. I thought that was all over. I thought that Sonjay Dutt was ready to move on and go to the locker room. But do I stand corrected? Absolutely I do, because CM Punk, he's still in there. He still has some life left in him.
Both guys are giving it this. They're all here. And this is just the first round. Imagine what we're going to see later on. Irish whip to the buckle. Punk somehow reverses it. Charge again. Dutt sends him up and over. Punk puts on the brakes. Back up to the top rope. CM Punk, can he hook him this time? Does he have enough strength left to get that 185-pound frame up? Pepsi plunge! Good God, the Pepsi plunge! 2, good night! That's the first time CM Punk has used the Pepsi plunge here in the IWC since Super Indy 1. That shows what this tournament means to him. That shows he's willing to put it all on the line to make it to the final round, to get that Super Indy Championship. And now CM Punk moves on to round number 2. Sonjay Dutt had a hell of a performance, and he won over all these fans here in West Mifflin. But CM Punk's day could be tonight. Punk goes on to the semifinals.
Super Hentai, I don't have any witty remarks, I don't have any clever anecdotes. I just want to say this is a Super Indy tournament. This is no time for brawling, as you've been asked to do in the past. And I want none of that. What I want is a clean wrestling contest. That's all I want. That's all I want to give these fans. Give me that much.
Super Hentai not wasting any time, going after his arch rival Alex Shelley here in the first round of the Super Indy 3 title tournament. Hentai, look out! Springboard offside, he moonsault, takes down Shelley already. Chuck, it's been well documented the problems these guys have had. Very simply put, Alex Shelley is desperate for attention, so he's been torturing one of the most prolific IWC stars we have, Super Hentai, to try to get it. He's beaten Hentai by pulling tights. He's beaten Hentai with his foot on the rope with an ether-soaked rag. What do you make of this? Alex Shelley, very, very insecure, wouldn't you think?
Well, I'm just a ring announcer. I don't do any impressions, and I can't make anything of it. But what I know is this, Joe. I know that Alex Shelley is coming hot off of a shoulder injury, if I'm not mistaken. And I was a little bit surprised to see him here on the invite list for Super Indy 3. But excuse me, I'm a little bit flabbergasted, as you could tell. I didn't even get the introduction set, but nonetheless, what a way to start off our third match here in round 1 of Super Indy 3. I apologize, Joe.
That's right, and you're right, Alex Shelley is coming off of an injury. It was a broken collarbone that kept him out of action for several months. Obviously, that's got to be a bullseye on his body for any of his opponents. But right now, what about Alex Shelley coming out here saying he doesn't want any brawling in this match? But look how this match has deteriorated so far.
Oh, it has definitely deteriorated thus far, and both guys are now on the outside, and it's tough to tell what's going on right here, but I hear a lot of chops that are being delivered, and it looks like, you know what, that might have been a burl stomp delivered by Alex Shelley.
I would have called that, but the guy in the front row stood up.
All I did is I saw him jump and land on 2 feet, so I'm just assuming. But now, Alex Shelley
just hit him with a cardboard sign.
Well, I don't think it's going to hurt too much, but it's insult to injury, that's for certain.
Exactly, the humiliation factor has been a major, major point of the rivalry between Alex Shelley and Super Hentai. Super Hentai stated on the internet he does not want his issues with Shelley to blind his quest of being a 2-time Super Indy Champion here tonight. Hentai wants to climb that mountain once again and win that championship and hold it for another 51 weeks like he did back in 2002 and 2003. But to do that, he has to get through the very man he's trying to suppress, Alex Shelley.
Interesting, very interesting, the draw here in the tournament as these two are getting first-round action against each other.
Now, hey, what is that sign made of?
Hey, I don't know, but what's good for the goose is obviously good for the gander, as Super Hentai now returning the favor with that cardboard sign.
A Super Hentai fan club cardboard sign.
Well, you know, the old saying, it's a solid steel cardboard sign. What do you think, Joe?
Who says that?
Well, don't you remember? Solid steel wooden chair, you don't remember? Nonetheless, unbelievable. Well, excuse me. Henny Youngman on the show. Henny Youngman, I'm not missing with a nice drop kick right there and a super kick delivered by Alex Shelley. This could be all Joe. Look out, 3. No.
Super Hentai has been training, getting himself in the right mental state and the right physical state for so long. Hard knife edge chop by Shelley. Super Hentai does not want to lose to Alex Shelley again. Irish strip duck down into the one-step flip for Hentai. Beautiful counter, but he can't get him down for more than 2, says referee Craig CJ Sensation.
And a suplex almost going to be delivered here. Yes, no. The float.
Oh, come on.
No words necessary to describe that, Joe.
CJ Sensation.
A roll up.
No, not like this. You've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. Piece of garbage, Alex Shelley. Super Indy is supposed to be about athletic competition in the ring, and he hits a low blow that early and eliminates the first champion and winner, Super Hentai, like that. Getting set here for the 4th match in the first round of the Super Indy title tournament. Joe Dabrowski calling all the action, along with Chuck Roberts, who's momentarily stepped out to take care of some business. Maybe he's trying to find Jeff Foreman and Kingdom James. But regardless, this matchup, a match of international flavor, as Soldier takes on Onryo, a battle of Japanese stars in the WMF promotion. Kono will tie up, and look at that right away, some sort of Missed something, gets all over Soldier. We know Soldier pretty well from his appearances in the IWC through the past several months. Not much known about Onryo. A little background on him. Also competes for the WMF promotion as Soldier. His name means Avenging Spirit in Japanese. Apparently his story is he's an undead zombie. He's been described as an insane high flyer who actually has a pinfall victory over the fallen angel Christopher Daniels over in Japan in the 3rd annual J-Cup, which is a very prestigious tournament over there involving junior heavyweights. Onryo running his own promotion in Japan called the Gates of Hell, which is not much of a surprise considering his appearance. Onryo in control of Soldier now with a wrist lock. Soldier, we talked about it before, one of the final graduates of the FMW dojo in Japan before moving on to WMF. A double tough star, already earning respect and accolades here in the United States for his battles with the likes of Shelley and Super Hentai. Shoulder block, Soldier takes Onryo down. Soldier, a major star of Japan and Mexico. I don't have to use that world experience to take down Onryo here with a beautiful arm drag, but Soldier battles right back with one of his own. I've heard some great stuff about both men, especially Onryo, who I've never seen before. Beautiful standing dropkick takes down Soldier. Interesting to see. I've heard a lot about Onryo's style. Should be interesting to see exactly what he can pull out here. Springboard. Oh my gosh. Flip senton off the top. Takes down Soldier. And listen to the fans go crazy. Onryo not taking long at all to win over all of our fans here in the IWC Super Indy Tournament crowd. Man, Onryo sends Soldier right into the ring post. Things getting out of hand here for another matchup here in the first round of Super Indy 3. Soldier's got to be dazed after that. Onryo has such a reckless style, such a dangerous style. He doesn't care about himself or anybody else. Obviously, his supposed undead status would lend credence to that. Soldier backing up, doesn't know what to think about him. You got to think these men have encountered each other before in the WMF promotion. But right now, Soldier's really taken aback by such risks that Onryo is taking here just the first round. Onryo now using his power, hard right hands to Soldier. Slugging away, slowing the pace down. Off the ropes now, charging through. Hard forearm shot right to the chest area. Takes down Soldier. Onryo over into the cover. Count of 2, says referee Bruce Gray, who does not know what color Onryo's hair is. Onryo, another beautiful standing drop kick taking down Soldier. Onryo, just a couple minutes out here in his first match in the IWC, has already impressed these fans, already impressed myself, and I'm sure impressed all of the officials and wrestlers watching in the back. Onryo maybe setting Soldier up for the tree of woe. Has him hanging in the corner upside down, very prone position, not where you want to be. Of course, the Super Indy tournament continuing as time goes on. Sabin already advancing to round number 2. As well as CM Punk, in addition to Alex Shelley. Stomping down to the groin area. Unbelievable punishment. So we know Sabin will take on CM Punk in round number 2. And the winner of this matchup will get Alex Shelley. It's a beautiful baseball slide drop kick to the face of Soldier. You gotta believe, wait, we got a cover and a kick out. You have to believe Alex Shelley's watching backstage on the monitor, scouting both of these men, because as has been well documented, both of these guys primarily make their living in Japan. They're not very well known here in the United States. They're very tough to scout. Drop toe hold by Soldier, sends Onryo into the second turnbuckle, and now Soldier dragging Onryo to a very precarious position, ramming the knee into the ring post.
Joe Dombrowski, I apologize for leaving you so soon. Something I had to attend to in the back. This night is going so fast. I don't know which way is up, which way is down, who's winning, who's losing. Joe, give me a quick update. What's going on?
You know, Chuck, from now on, you should go before we go on the air. I mean, that's very unprofessional of you. As I mentioned earlier, it's Sabin versus CM Punk, and the winner of this match has Alex Shelley. Shelley's got to be scouting these participants because he can't know much about them. They're primarily wrestling in Japan.
Well, I'll follow that comment up with I believe you. I'm not going to follow up the I should have went comment. I won't justify that with a comment. However, I will suggest, and I apologize, Joe, you might have said something. Where'd this own Jew, where'd he come from? I mean, he's from the cemetery?
apparently a Japanese cemetery. As Soldier counters, glancing blow drops down Onryo. I believe the momentum carrying Onryo to the canvas. That's definitely not going to be enough to waste time or get a cover. Soldier's got to stay on Onryo now that he's in full control.
And I don't know a whole lot about this guy. Well, I know more about Soldier than I do Onryo, but let me ask you, is this the first time these two guys are in the ring together?
At least in this country it is. Both of them do compete for the WMF promotion, Wrestling Marvels in the future, in Japan, so I would assume their paths have crossed at some point.
Nonetheless, we got him here at Super Indy 3. Earlier on, as I said, we were talking about that international flavor, Sonjay Dutt, who unfortunately has not or will not advance in the tournament. But right here you see, of course, coming a long way, all the way from a cemetery, obviously in Japan somewhere. And of course, coming from Tokyo, Japan, is Soldier. Unbelievable. But what's great here again is the two styles inside that ring, Joe. Obviously similar styles, the Japanese type wrestling, very fast, high impact. And there's a definition of high impact right there.
Into the cover. Bruce Gray gets a count of two. Did you see that unbelievable suicide dive? That dive that Onryo committed on Soldier in the opening moments of this contest.
Again, Joe, I apologize. Things have been going by so fast here tonight. It's been tough to tell. This crowd here at West Mifflin.
Soldier may be going high risk.
The crowd here at West Mifflin, they've been on a fever pitch all night. Look out. Soldier to the top. Joe.
Senton bomb connects with Onryo. Driving all the way down to him.
Oh, only a one count.
Well, I guess you can't drive all the air out of him since he's been dead for quite some time.
Yeah.
Or so we're led to believe.
I guess actually you're right. Death doesn't take a holiday, and certainly Onryo is proving that in the ring. Look out.
Michinoku driver. This has got to be it. Onryo's down. Onryo's got to be out. Wait, he just caught his hand.
Wait a minute.
He just caught Bruce Gray's hand. He didn't have enough strength to get his own shoulder up, so he kept Bruce Gray from hitting the mat. Look at that.
Joe, I don't know if you can do that. I don't know if that's legal. However, it happened.
His hand didn't hit the mat for the third time.
Why?
Soldier's very upset about that. Man, what a close.
Why in the world would you want to do that in Super Indy 3?
Another kick out.
Joe, I have no idea why in the world you would want to stop somebody's hand, why you would want to not get the victory.
Very
as soon
simple.
as you can.
Onryo didn't want to be pinned. Roll up cover now, and Soldier's got the cover. He got three. Great win for Onryo here in his IWC debut here in West Mifflin, Pennsylvania, defeating Soldier. Soldier not happy about it. It all came down to that one moment, keeping Bruce Gray from counting three, holding his hand up to block Bruce Gray's. That was able to switch the momentum around, and Onryo gets Shelley in round number 2 later on tonight. What a win for Onryo. Well, wait a second. Jimmy Vegas?
Bro, there's not too many parties I'm not invited to. They know better. Where's my match? As you can see, I'm still by myself. No Baba, no Dan. I wonder if you had something to do with that.
Shut the hell up!
Hey, just put yourself on the
Vegas crashing our Super Indy party. He's not going to get any respect, not going to get what he wants. He wants a match he's not even supposed to be here.
Yeah, that's great. Nice job. Shut your mouth, Pop. I'm not going to come out here and talk about my accomplishments because I am the biggest superstar in this company. In the past year, I've done more than anybody in that locker room. Anybody. I don't need to jump off that. I don't need to hit you with a chair. I don't need to do any of that. Single-handed, I took out Mr. Pittsburgh. Mr. Black and Gold.
That's debatable. First of all, single-handedly, I don't know about that. Plus, I think Shane Douglas is on his way back. There's a cage match June 5th that Jimmy Vegas has to step into. Is that who I think it is? Oh my God, it's the franchise! Shane Douglas! Shane Douglas is back! The franchise is here, and he's taking Jimmy Vegas down! momentarily. But what a shocker. Shane Douglas on the heels of the cage match. June 5th, triple threat versus triple threat. Douglas is back for some early revenge.
Joe, I have no idea what's going on.
Slam counter. Drop kick by the franchise.
The franchise is back in an IWC ring, and I have a feeling Jimmy Vegas is going to regret every word he just said about him.
Douglas is dominating Vegas, and IWC security tentative. They don't want to get in here and stop this. Finally, security holding back Vegas. What a surprise, the franchise is back. June 5th, Douglas, Vegas, cage match, triple threat versus triple threat, and Douglas wants to talk. Unbelievable, what a moment and what a surprise. I apologize for that.
I'll give credit and respect where credit and respect are due. You have indeed had a mark on this business, but when you want to bite off the chunk known as the franchise, you've bitten off way too big a fucking bite.
Franchise in rare form. Again, we apologize for this language.
We got a few friends tonight, don't you, Jimmy? We got a few comrades. I wonder where they are. Let's just say the franchise, though a few of my friends got a bare elegance, and let's just say that your friends are all tied up right now.
Shane Douglas masterminded the plot to eliminate Bubba and Gregory from tonight's card.
You see something? You want to make the markers of the franchise as a living stone, or you can do it. But you see, I got a pretty big brain in my head. IQ of 156. That's why somebody once tried to call me a dean. I told him to kiss my ass. But those wheels are turning, and Jimmy Vegas, if you wanted a big match, if you want to draw the line, if you want to spill some blood, then I say, Mr. Norm Corners, Mr. Promoter, if you have cojones big enough, then I say we give these people a treat on June 5th. Right here. I say we erect a 16-foot high steel cage and we close in this fucking ring.
That's the match. Triple threat versus triple threat.
And I say, if you want it, let's hear it. Steel cage. Steel cage. Steel cage.
And Vegas can't wait. He wants it Douglas now.
Right here, punk. You got it. They want it. They want it. You want it. Do you want it? Do you want it? Do you want it? Well, they goddamn got it.
What an unbelievable, shocking appearance by the franchise Shane Douglas in lieu of the huge cage match. It's Saturday night, June 5th, live here at CCAC South Campus in West Midland. Folks, you've got to be there for the first ever IWC cage match. Triple threat versus triple threat. It's the franchise's revenge.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest, scheduled for one fall, is our weapons match.
hardcore war. Balls, Mahoney, and New Jack here at Super Indy 3 in a hardcore fan's dream. Joe Dombrowski, Chuck Roberts calling him. Oh! And it's taking not long to get physical already. New Jack, what is that, a fork in his hand, Chuck?
I think it's a fork, it's a pitchfork, it's a knife, whatever it is. Joe, it's not a way you and I want to spend a Saturday night, that's for certain.
New Jack and Balls summed it up best. They're friends outside, but in the ring, they're going to beat the hell out of each other, and New Jack's already going for his sickle.
Look out, and oh, he's driving it. If this were a first blood match, Joe, it would be over. Balls Mahoney is already busted open.
Carving away at the forehead. It's no surprise that Balls Mahoney is busted wide open already. This is going to be a sick match. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be beautiful. Not going to be technically sound. This is going to be downright ugly.
Joe, when's the last time that you called your friends and you said, all right, I know you don't have friends, but regardless, when's the last time you called anyone and said, hey, you know what, nothing personal, but I'm going to drive a fork and a pitchfork right between your eyes?
Has the spirit of Kingdom James come into your soul or something? What are you getting on my case for?
Well, that was just getting back for you in that comment earlier about me excusing myself prior to the show.
You're the one that left for 10 minutes. But anyway, we got to stay focused here. New Jack and Balls Mahoney, their credentials in the hardcore war are well documented. Both men former 3-time ECW Tag Team Champions with different partners, of course. Balls Mahoney with Masato Tanaka and Spike Dudley. New Jack with that infamous Gangsters tag team, and he's just carving that sick one to the forehead even further. Chuck, does either of these guys have an edge? Who do you pick in this match? Both guys have the reputation of being the most hardcore, reckless, bloodthirsty men in history.
Well, I would suggest in the hand right now of New Jack is an edge. It's the edge of a blade that's now being driven. Folks, Joe, I don't know if you said this, but I mean it. Number one, if you're queasy, but number two, I have to suggest, if you are under the age of at least, I don't know, 14, 13, something like that, maybe you should be watching this match.
Definitely. IWC Nation Television, usually a family-friendly program. For the next 10 minutes or so, you can throw that out the window.
Definitely nothing family-friendly with this. I certainly hope the FCC doesn't get hold of this tape.
Or the commission and Chris Wood.
Yeah, you're right. As soon as I said FCC, I thought Chris Wood of the commission. Certainly, I don't know if he's here or not. I don't know. I haven't seen him at all here today. Speaking of which.
Speak of the devil, Chris Wood of that damn commission. They've been trying to put IWC out of business for months. And now he shows up during the hardcore match. He's talking to IWC security now.
Well, where was he? Out grabbing a hot dog? I haven't seen him all night. And certainly here he surfaces during this match. I tell you what, that's not coincidence, Joe.
He's always lurking, and he picked this time. Obviously, he had the videotape of a few weeks ago. What New Jack did to T-Rantula. The balcony dive, 20 feet through the table. The commission definitely does not like that kind of action.
Well, you know what? The commission, they can dislike it all they want, Joe, but the fact of the matter is it's taking place right here, right now. It is IWC Wrestling, and regardless of what the commission says, New Jack just had a couple words for Chris Wood of the commission.
Wait a second. Wood and Connor's going out again. The match continues with weapons strewn across the ring. We've seen them get into slap fights in the past. They're going to go to the back and have a very heated discussion. I don't like the looks of that.
Chris Wood just grabbed his cell phone. I don't know who he's going to call.
Balls Mahoney just grabbed New Jack's sickle right down to the forehead, ripping away the scar tissue of New Jack.
A head that would actually...
Look at Balls Mahoney's head.
New Jack's head would actually bleed if he simply washed it with a cotton swab. But driving a sickle-like bladed object is certainly going to make that crimson flow.
How is referee Roman Law going to control this? We got to talk about Roman Law. Made his debut as a wrestler a few months ago, but then he decided after he lost, the only way to learn was to learn from the pros and be a referee and gain experience. But there's nothing you're going to learn about wrestling in this match.
Yeah, I don't know.
Obviously, some official has some vendetta with Roman.
Oh, jeez. I don't know if this was the right match to throw Roman Law in. Of course, I'm not a matchmaker, but that's my 2 cents. But right now, he's tying him up, and it looks like he's going to drive that sickle again right at the top of the head.
God.
And I don't even want to watch this, Joe.
Oh, he's scraping it across the forehead.
I'm not interested in this, Joe.
We apologize for these images. As you see, our folks at Digital Horizons, Tony Fiore and company, doing a great job getting us right in the action.
Oh!
But even they might want to pull back a little. This is disgusting.
If you have young kids, you very well...
Dining tray of some sort.
Oh!
We also should mention mention Timothy A. Walker, photographer of Pro Wrestling Illustrated magazine, in attendance. He's getting some great shots of this too.
Yeah, great shots, nice bloody shots. You know, I'd like to see these guys perhaps use an object that isn't quite so lethal and isn't quite so sharp.
New Jack, of course, New Jack in recent weeks, his mission has been to get a hold of Bubba the Bulldog.
Oh my goodness.
Keyboard on the groin with a golf club. Oh my God. Balls Mahoney has to change his name.
And I gotta tell you, Joe, that shot right there was right into the balls. Mahoney, well, you get my point.
Talk about a nutcracker sweet. As I was mentioning, New Jack's been trying to get a hold of Bubba the Bulldog, Jimmy Vegas, and Dennis Gregory. He's had a vendetta against them for weeks. You gotta believe he's still looking to get a hold of Bubba. But right now, he's just concerned about maiming his longtime friend, Balls Mahoney.
Well, New Jack, I have a feeling he's not interested in ironing anything but Balls Mahoney's face with that ironing board.
Elbow on the ironing board.
Unbelievable. We've just seen the ironing board driven into the sternum of Balls Mahoney.
Cover, the original gangsta gets almost a count of 3.
2 count only. And, you know, I am an avid golfer, Joe, and I would have to suggest that that swing by New Jack, the ball would have sliced. The balls would have definitely sliced. You know,
okay, please.
Okay.
What a vicious war. Rush to the back, breaks the wooden crutch. Unbelievable. And the hardcore chair swinging freak has been reduced to a quivering, bloody, graphic mess.
The hardcore chair swinging, ironing board swinging, crutch swinging, well, you put it in place of the word swinging, folks.
Oh, low blow by Mahoney.
And that's exactly what Balls Mahoney is. But right now, that might be right there the shot, no pun intended, but you know, the shot that was necessary for Balls to take the upper hand in this contest.
I gotta tell you, I've called a lot of matches here in the IWC, but none of them come even as close as to this in terms of sickest match I've ever seen or called live. Oh!
And I can't agree with you more.
Thinking away with that sharp piece of wood. I think it's a piece of the crutch. He just dug into his foot.
Joe, I'm going to mirror your comments. I've commentated a number of matches over the years, and never before,
foot on the rope.
How unlikely is that in a weapons match do you see somebody stop a count with a foot on the rope? I thought that, like all the other rules, were thrown out the door.
New Jack's head may be rigging right now, but one thing he does have, if you could believe it, is brains.
Those brains are scrambled and bloody at the moment.
Irish whip, hey, a wrestling move. Irish whip by Mahoney. Super kick. New Jack might have tried to block a little bit, not sure how much he got of it.
Balls caught him right underneath the jaw, Joe.
And hardcore chair swinging freak going upstairs.
And now Balls Mahoney's going to use all that 290.
Oh, splashed by the 290-pound ball.
An unlikely maneuver off the top rope by Balls Mahoney.
He's got the cover. He's got this, but no, another kick out.
2 count only.
Balls Mahoney, tremendous agility for his size, but even that wasn't enough to keep down the original gangster. After all we've seen, Chuck, what do these two guys have to do to each other to defeat each other?
I don't even want to think about what they have to do. I'm having a hard time thinking about what they've already done, and that's enough for me. But I know right now, if I'm Balls Mahoney, I mean, well, let's face it, it's a weapons match. You use a weapon. Grab something right now. You know, New Jack, he doesn't hesitate in a moment to grab a weapon.
Right now, we got to apologize to our WBGM standards and practices for the graphic nature of this segment, as New Jack and Balls continue to fly right hands back and forth. Balls ducks it.
Look out, a scoop slam pass.
Nutcracker sweet, Nutcracker sweet. He hit it on New Jack. This has got to be it. Balls running with a cover. He wins the hardcore. No!
2 count only.
He kicked out of the Nutcracker sweet. That's amazing.
What's amazing is that he kicked out of the Nutcracker slice earlier on.
Ironing board being set up by Mahoney now.
And once again,
New Jack got out of the way. Mahoney inadvertently grabbing his own leg right into that hard ironing board.
The only thing that Balls is interested in pressing.
Oh, wait a second.
It's New Jack's face in the ground.
New Jack's got the guitar. The trademark weapon of New Jack through all the years.
Look out!
No! Oh, my God.
Look out! And I think this could be over.
Get over the head, the cover. He got 3. War. cars, ironing boards, it didn't matter. They put on all the stops and left a hell of a lot of scars on each other's foreheads. But tonight it was New Jack, victorious over Balls, continuing his ascension here at IWC. What a graphic, sick, sick war. What are we going to see now?
Get your ass up. For those that don't know, this is how we do it.
Look at his forehead.
For years, for the fans of Pittsburgh and the suburbs that were able to come downtown, this is what you miss. But the good part is, just like wine, we get better with time, baby.
New Jack and Balls Mahoney. No in. No time. But one thing they do know, after all these years of fighting each other, busting each other open, they do have an underlying respect for each other. What a battle, but what intestinal fortitude from Balls Mahoney and the original gangster New Jack. Sebastian Dark? Sebastian Dark! What's he doing here? He's not on this show. Sebastian Dark out of nowhere with Balls Mahoney's Super Indy 3 chair. Dark and Balls had that tag team encounter a few months back. Shelley Doe. Fresh from Japan, Shelley Doe's entering the ring. Dark's trying to finish off Balls. He doesn't see Doe behind him. Doe misses a chair shot. Dark and Doe, their war might never end. Dark with a vicious shot to Doe. Oh no. Went for his finisher, Doe counters. Oh my God. Fisherman Buster. And now Balls Mahoney might be finishing off Sebastian Dark once and for all. He's got the special Super Indy chair, but Dark runs out of the way. Sebastian Dark just barely getting out of the nick of time. Sebastian Dark trying to make his mark on Super Indy 3, but Doe wouldn't let it happen. Surely Sebastian Dark have another memorable encounter here.
Sebastian Dark, in case you don't know, this is the most hardcore son of a bitch I've ever met. You wanna come out here, you wanna disrespect you and all these people? I've had enough. IWC has a show in West Virginia soon, and as far as I know, there's no state athletic commission in West Virginia.
Oh, where's he going with this?
So I think you know what that means. One night, 3 death matches.
Oh my
You
God.
versus me, and I swear to God, I will kill you.
3 death matches, Doe versus Dark. When IWC debuts in West Virginia, check out IWCWrestling.us for all the news on that story.
Sebastian Dark. You get by him in West Virginia, where there is no commission. Then you gotta see me again. But any one of these people and any one of the boys in the back will tell you I don't
you very soon. Going dark, best of 3 death match series in one night. Oh my God, if you thought this was violent, you ain't seen nothing yet. Head to IWCWrestling.com for all the info on these death matches. Oh my God.
Super Indy being escorted to the ring by Sterling James Keenan, weighing in at 210 pounds, from Chicago, Illinois, here is CM Punk.
Keeps getting bigger and better as we enter round number 2 of the IWC Super Indy Tournament 3 here in West Mifflin, Pennsylvania. Joe Dombrowski and Chuck Roberts bringing you all the action, and what a second round contest we have here. CM Punk taking on the future Chris Sabin.
Well, you're exactly right, and you couldn't have said it better. The action just keeps getting better as CM Punk is taking on the future Chris Sabin in what should be an unbelievable match here.
It should, but what's also unbelievable is CM Punk offering his hand and showing of respect. Well, Punk hasn't shown any respect to anybody ever since he aligned himself with Sterling James Keenan last January.
Well, the one thing we certainly know about CM Punk is he's not above mind games. The guy's going to try to toy with you, not only physically in the ring, he's going to toy with you mentally. And if he thinks that he's going to make a friend out of Chris Sabin, he's got another thing coming.
And Sabin knows that. He's one step ahead of CM Punk now as he cinches in the wrist lock center ring. Of course, Chris Sabin defeating Glenn Spector to get to round number 2. CM Punk with a very hard-fought win over Sonjay Dutt. Based on the first round pairings, I think the advantage would go to Chris Sabin early on. He did not have as tough a test as CM Punk did. No offense to Spector, but then he go back to the endurance factor. CM Punk seemingly does not know the meaning of the word title.
No, you're exactly right. He definitely doesn't. As you stated in the first round about CM Punk, he has wrestled in so many different promotions. He literally wrestles almost every single night because that's what he knows. He knows one thing, and he knows wrestling. And that man can last an hour, 4 matches, 10 matches, trust me. And that's not an exaggeration.
And Sabin sitting in the front face lock center ring, trying to wear down CM Punk as best he can. A very smart strategy here at this point. Wearing down CM Punk as best he can while conserving energy for himself. But CM Punk back up to a vertical base and now working back on Sabin's arm.
You know, earlier on you talked about an alliance with Sterling James Keenan, and we obviously Sterling out on the outside of the ring, seconding, of course, CM Punk.
Yeah.
But, you know, the thing that I don't understand is really, in Super Indy 3, as far as I'm concerned, or Super Indy for that matter, there's really no room for seconds, valets, or managers. It's about pure wrestling inside that ring, Joe.
That's exactly right. You know, there's been a lot of speculation on IWCWrestling.com about CM Punk and Sterling James Keenan. I mean, are they a crumbling alliance or a union of defiance? Some may speculate Punk's trying to play games with Sterling James Keenan and take advantage of him, if you can believe it. Take advantage of the master of the mind game, Sterling James Keenan. In which case, it might be working now. I mean, he has Sterling out with him.
Well, and one thing, Joe, as many of us know in the back, I know you are stirring a lot of that controversy, but with just cause, Joe, with absolute just cause, because we all would like to know. I've tried to interview both guys. I've tried to talk to them in the back, and I'll be honest with you, they're very secretive. They close the door a lot. They're always talking. They're always always together, but you can never really pin one down to ask the other about, you know, what the other's doing and what this alliance is all about.
A test of strength between the two men here in the early going. Punk with the size advantage and the leverage advantage. We're sort of the same, but Sabin reverses it right about on Punk.
You know, actually, Joe, if you think about it, this alliance actually formed in the latter stages of the championship that, you know, of course is now around the waist of Dean Radford. But that alliance between these two formed kind of in the latter half of that. And you have to, you know, suggest or maybe question, you know, did CM Punk, was he jealous? I mean, you know, he was pretty intricate in the losing of that championship by Sterling James.
Well, you never know what's in CM Punk's mind. I mean, there's been so much speculation between CM Punk and Sterling James Keenan, but right now, so far, they have been a very well-oiled unit out there in the Super Indy tournament, even though, you know, well-oiled machines are not what we need. We need one-on-one competition.
Oh, absolutely right. And these guys, you know, you might as well use the analogy. These two guys are definitely well-oiled machines in that ring. Technicians, machine technicians and wrestling technicians is there. As you see, reversing that arm wringer is now Chris Sabin, the future, and Chris Sabin could actually absolutely be the future of IWC Wrestling.
No doubt about that. Got a question CM Punk's line of thinking here. Chris Sabin is going into this match coming off of a knee injury, but CM Punk has focused offense on the arm. Perhaps Punk not doing his homework, too busy drinking Sterling's Kool-Aid, perhaps.
Well, one thing you'll notice in this match, Joe, is that it has been slowed down by both wrestlers. You can tell they're definitely tired. Their bodies have been taking a beating because, of course,
at the same time, they have to conserve energy for the road ahead. They still, if things work out for them, have another match ahead of them.
Oh, absolutely, and they're both looking forward to that. They cannot look over each other inside that ring because, folks, as soon as you hiccup, somebody could get a pinfall here with these two guys.
No doubt.
All right, Joe, you're a betting guy. What do you say? Who's your pick in this one?
Oh, this is too close to call right here. You think about CM Punk, his experience in Super Indy 1, his IWC heavyweight title reign. You think about Chris Sabin, who's still undefeated, former NWA TNA ex-champion. As he flips off, going for a Hurricane Rana, Punk caught him, up into our power bomb. Sabin flips over to the sunset flip. Now Punk up and over. Sabin with the leapfrog. Standing drop kick, Punk is down. And it's stories like that make this match so impossible to pick a winner.
You're exactly right. I couldn't have said it better myself, Joe, as there's a forearm right to the chops of CM Punk. I would have to suggest, of all the competitors here tonight, Chris Sabin is perhaps the most physically well-gifted, and I know you don't judge a book by its cover, but perhaps he has all the physical attributes that's necessary to last this tournament.
With the monkey flip, all 8 of these gentlemen in this tournament, including the 4 that have been eliminated, are among the best in the world, and they have every attribute it takes for victory. If they didn't, they wouldn't be in the tournament, as Chris Sabin gets 2. No. It's only a matter of time to see who has all the tools better in place to come out on top in the end and be only the 4th Super Indy champion in our history.
No, I think you're exactly right, and don't get me wrong, everybody in Super Indy is definitely gifted, but I think it's the athlete that trained for endurance is there with a nice single-arm DDT. The athlete that trained for endurance is going to be the one that comes out on top, but that's just my 2 cents.
And it seems Punk focusing on that left arm and shoulder, hitting the divorce court, then swinging in with the senton down on Chris Sabin.
Very nicely done, and now the upper hand is going to CM Punk, and now you can see the big smirk on the face of Sterling James Keenan, who likes what he sees.
Slowing down the pace, slowing down the tempo. Doesn't even need Sterling James Keenan out here right now. But obviously the fact that Sterling James Keenan is there, in the back of his mind, has got to be a strength. He knows he has security. If he needs it, he can use it.
You're exactly right. And I'll be honest, Joe, that's the part I don't like about this whole thing. You know, I really don't know. I've seen Norm Connors walking around here. Look at the strength
by CM Punk.
I see Norm Connors walking around here, but I would wish he would interject himself and tell Sterling James, get to the back where he belongs.
Well, considering all that Norm Connors
speak of the devil
has been through, as you see him walk just by us, look at all always got on his shoulder. He's got to deal with Shane Douglas running around here like a maniac. New Jack running around like a maniac. The commission's on his back, having all sorts of backstage meetings with him, trying to shut this company down. He just doesn't have enough time or enough sets of eyes to watch everywhere all the time. And Sterling and Punk are exploiting that to their advantage at this time.
No, and Joe, don't get me wrong, I do not envy the job of promoter Norm Connors, because you're exactly right. Right now in IWC, and Joe, in a long time, I don't remember so many different things going on with so many different factions, so many different challenges, types of matches, stipulations, shows. IWC right now is as hot and heavy as it's good. Well, I shouldn't say as it's going to get. It's as hot and heavy as it's ever been. And folks, and Joe, it's only getting better.
And look no further than in the ring for evidence that. Wait a second, Sterling James getting
here it is,
cheap
Joe.
shot, working on that injured arm and shoulder behind the back of referee CJ Sensation, who does have refereeing experience, regardless of his extensive background as a professional wrestler. Punk goes for the very cocky cover and only gets 2.
And Joe, earlier on, you know, I did pick, my pick was Super Hentai, and you know, I was wrong. He was eliminated in a great match. But you know, right now, if I can now pick up my backup pick, it's going to be CM Punk, and some of the reason for that selection is Sterling James.
Hard shot to the shoulder, relentless on that offense, but saving it to the basement dropkick to possibly reverse the momentum in this match. And Sterling James Keenan is very upset.
Well, I don't know why he's upset. He has actually no right to be upset, no right to be happy, he has no right to be out there. Back to the matter that he is. And again, I think he's going to be the difference maker.
Sabin going for the cradle shot. This will finish it off. Punk counters. Look at this, rolling through. Now with a cross arm breaker on Chris Sabin. More punishment on the arm.
And what a victory to get over Chris Sabin if he submits. But no, having that ring savvy, he's able to catch the bottom rope and lock it with his feet.
Sabin couldn't bend that elbow to prevent the pressure being applied. So his backup plan, put the heel of the foot in that rope and break the hold. And now Chris Sabin has to regroup CM Punk right back on him now, the mark of a true champion. But Sabin battles back with a knife edge chop. Slugfest in the center of the ring now. Both men in a stalemate after all this time.
Seems like those knife edge chops are a little homage to the man, the master himself, the Nature Boy Ric Flair.
Well, to be the man, you got to beat the man. But tonight, you got to beat 3 of them. And CM Punk with a cover on Sabin almost beat him right there.
Nice cover, hooked the leg, but obviously still some gas left in that tank of Chris Sabin as he was able to kick out with some authority still, which is a bit surprising because these guys have been wrestling now, it seems, in an excess of 10 minutes.
Going for the Pepsi twist, another signature maneuver, but a counter by Chris Sabin. Double forearms in the center of the ring, neither man budging. Jumping into Gary kick, we saw it earlier. Sabin breaks out again. You know, Chuck, I can't harp on it enough. A few months ago, Chris Sabin did defeat AJ Styles clean in the middle of the ring with a pinfall. AJ Styles, up until the end of tonight, is our Super Indy Champion. Wait, we got to cover in the middle of the ring. Oh, so close. I was going to say, what a better candidate for the next Super Indy Champion than Sabin, but Punk gets his foot in the ropes.
You're exactly right. Sabin had a phenomenal win, and sorry about the pun there, folks, but he had a phenomenal win over AJ Styles. But these are two very contrasting.
Oh, Sabin couldn't pick him up. That shoulder was in too much pain. Couldn't get the weight over. Moved to the midsection.
Wow. CM Punk and AJ, very contrasting styles inside that ring.
Variation of a neck breaker, Sabin into the cover, hooks the leg, has 3. Oh, man, what a near fall.
Joe, that's about as close as you're going to get without actually getting that 3 count.
And Sterling James Keenan getting very, very distressed at ringside.
And he has every right to be distressed because right now it looks like his co-meal ticket.
Look at him. He can't even move that left arm. He's operating on one arm, but CM Punk counters the hurricane and he'll powerbomb. Oh, Sabin just able to kick out.
Just when you think it's all over for CM Punk.
Crossface. He's got him in a crossface. One of the deadliest maneuvers in professional wrestling today. Chris Sabin might have no choice but to tap out.
He's got it in the center of the ring, and referee
Sabin trying to inch to the rope. He's trying to inch to the rope. He's got the foot of the rope. Sensation forced to make Punk break the hold.
I am very surprised that Chris Sabin was able to muster up the energy to get to that bottom rope and break that hold.
I'll tell you what, CJ Sensation, no stranger to pain in the Super Indy tournament. I remember low-key kicking the crap out of him, but even he's got to be flinching. What Chris Sabin's going through with his arm could be broken. With a roll-up, Sabin reverses. What a pinfall! He got it! What a victory for Chris Sabin, reversing the pinfall. second, in just one hiccup, a pinfall can happen, and we can have a winner in this matchup. Chris Sabin proved that right now. Out of nowhere, catching Punk off guard, and Chris Sabin is officially in the finals of Super Indy 3. Garrett Sabin's return to IWC ends with a championship title reign. Only time will tell. Wait a second. Sterling James Keenan, a little bit of an argument with CM Punk. I talked about it earlier. Is it an alliance? Is it a union of defiance? Or is it a crumbling alliance? Sterling's leaving Punk in the center of the ring, and neither man looks happy. Underway? I suppose it is. Onryo and Alex Shelley, the fans, as is traditional in Japanese culture, throwing streamers in the ring for Onryo in his match with Alex Shelley, round 2 of the Super Indy title tournament. Joe Dombrowski and Chuck Roberts bringing you all this insanity. Shelley counters the double underhook, and both men are being immersed in these streamers, jumping into Gary kick sent down Onryo.
Joe, I've never seen anything quite like it here in the States, that is. They're throwing in streamers. It looks like a ticker tape in there.
Variation of a double arm backbreaker by Shelley into the cover. Near fall situation. Obviously, Onryo showing people so much impressing people so much. They show so much respect for him with those streamers in the ring for this matchup.
And how clever was Onryo throwing that powder before the bell rang, being legal, and that could have been the difference maker here in this match.
That's right, some sort of powdery mist catching Alex Shelley off guard before this matchup even starts. Onryo scoops him up with a hard slam.
You know, you can't blink for a second in IWC, Joe. You know that very well. You cannot blink for a second. You never know.
Look at a drop kick counter with a drop kick of his own.
Not only what you might see, you never know what you might miss.
That's right. Shelley hooks it up. Tornado DDT coming up. Shelley cheated to defeat Super Hentai in round 1. Onryo defeating Soldier.
That's all.
He might defeat him now. Onryo held his hand up again for the second straight match.
Joe, I apologize. Earlier, I thought it was Soldier that did that. I see it's all clear now. That was Onryo that did it.
Onryo takes out the limb of Alex Shelley.
Wait a second.
Shelley rolls him through. Oh, near fall situation. Onryo got obliterated by that tornado DDT. Shell shot. The shell shot.
Could this be over, Joe?
This has got to be it, shell shot. There's no getting up from it. Alex Shelley wins. Shelley cheated to defeat Super Hentai in quick fashion. I'll give him credit this time. He puts away Onryo in rather quick fashion. Alex Shelley steamrolling his way to the finals. But he's going to have a tough test there. A battle of Michigan natives. Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, the Super Indy 3 final, and it's coming up.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest has been rated R by the Matchmakers of America for its sexual content, and it is for the IWC Championship.
6 long months of surgery Ecstasy finally returns. Slim, trim, buff, cut, ripped, chisel. Jimmy Vegas again. He has no business out here.
Look at me, those arrogant eyes. I'll rip them out of your head. That title is on the wrong man.
Jimmy Vegas has been complaining about his lack of title shots lately. Oh, he just spat on Radford. This is the wrong way to go about requesting a title match. Vegas voicing his displeasure for his lack of title shots. But he doesn't have to interrupt this. Come on.
Eric, not too many people know, since Sean's time, I've been through you thick and thin, helping you lose weight, getting into shape.
They have been close friends and allies, watching each other's backs, motivating each other to get better, and obviously that's worked considering where they are right now.
So you helped me last month? Last month. You saved my ass. Thank you.
Ecstasy watching Radford's back.
I said, you're not going to beat me tonight.
Watching his back in his defenses against Sterling, but Radford's still confident about victory here. This is the moment of truth. IWC title on the line. Dean Radford defending against Eric Ecstasy. And what a battle it should be.
Unbelievable. What a return. Here we go.
It all comes down to this irresistible force versus the immovable object, Eric Ecstasy and Dean Radford.
Well, Eric Ecstasy is much more movable than he once was, going from 369 pounds all the way down to 269 pounds. He likes to stay at that number, if you know what I mean.
Well, that's almost 100 pounds.
That's exactly what it is. But regardless, absolutely. And as you could see as we started this contest, obviously Jimmy Vegas doesn't like the fact that Eric Ecstasy has returned to the ring and already has a shot at the title.
Oh, Vegas has expressed his displeasure for weeks about him not getting a lot of title shots. And look at Eric Ecstasy showing off that physique. IWC heavyweight title is on the line. Dean Radford defending against the returning Eric Ecstasy. And I can't remember a title match in recent memory that had this much bulk and weight in the ring at the same time.
You're exactly right. And now, thanks to Eric Ecstasy,
oh, there!
see right there.
I've never seen Ecstasy thrown like that.
You know what? Let's be fair, Joe. That could be the difference maker in this match for Eric Ecstasy. He's not used to that.
One of my bullet points to hit on during this match was that Dean Radford is used to being the aggressor and having the power advantage. And I speculated he might not have that at this point, but I think he's proven me wrong already.
Well, we both know that this is a long return, weighted that is, by Eric Ecstasy. He's got to have butterflies in his thin and trim stomach now, because to beat Dean Radford's going to take a lot in that ring.
Modified sidewalk slam takes down Dean Radford, and Eric Ecstasy feeling it already. Momentum on the champion.
And you're not going to see a lot of different type of wrist locks or wrist holds or wrist watches for that matter. You're going to see a lot of high impact maneuvers.
No.
Thanks to these two.
Chuck, here it comes.
Wait a second.
Here it comes. No pun intended. Here it comes.
It's coming all right, but wait a second.
He was going for the sack attack, but Radford countered with a big boot.
He caught him with that mafia-type kick right to the jaw.
Ecstasy took too much time to ask the crowd if they wanted to see the sack attack. Radford comes back and counters all over Eric Ecstasy. It's been 6 months, Chuck, since Eric Ecstasy has had a match. What amount of ring rust does he have? I guess he's going to tell you right now as he asks you to bring the mic.
I think you forgot that these were my people before yours, buddy.
Fans have been supporting Eric Ecstasy for a long time.
It's not, I know street fights, TLC. I'm pretty much the best brawler in Pittsburgh, so why don't we take you to my people? Do you want us to come out there? Okay. I thought these were your people. Let's go.
Challenging Radford to, let me get this right, a street fight? See, Roman lost, never going to learn anything at this rate. Trying to become a referee to learn more wrestling technique. Well, Dean Radford has his cheering section. Eric Ecstasy has his cheering section on the opposite side. Both of these men, incredible fan favorites, loved the area over by all of our fans. And now they're going to meet right in the middle. Ecstasy and Radford, two big bad bruisers, slugging it out right at the bottom of the ring. Exchanging right hands, exchanging knife edge chops. Chuck, what have you done? This has turned pretty serious very quick.
All I know is Eric Ecstasy wanted the microphone, and I certainly wasn't going to say no. He had a look in his eye like I've never seen before. This guy's upset.
Ecstasy is factual. Back in the day, he has had street fights, TLC matches, all sorts of special matches. He can brawl with the best of them, but then again, so can Dean Radford.
Joe, you're exactly right. You know, he can throw all that history. He can throw all that away right now because he's got to beat the champion, and Dean Radford is a tough champion to beat.
No doubt about that. Sterling James Keenan's come on the short end of the stick many times. But whatever's going on right now is definitely going to be painful for somebody.
Folks, it's tough to see. Joe, I can't see it. I don't know if you can. I know these guys are out. I guess with the people of Eric Ecstasy is now Joe's trying to get a better glimpse of what's going on. I see these guys going back and forth, whipped into the doors. They might be out in the concession area before too long here, Joe.
Radford put on the brakes and was able to knock Ecstasy down on the rebound.
It's tough to tell, folks. Please bear with us. Hopefully you guys...
Radford ramming Ecstasy head first right in that door.
Hopefully, thanks to the...
They're in the lobby right now.
Thanks to the folks over at Digital Horizons, maybe we can catch this.
Radford set back first right in the wall. Hey, these monitors are on my side. You find your own view.
I'm trying to get the people's view, if you know what I mean. Whether it be Eric Ecstasy, whether it be Dean Radford, regardless, these two guys...
Just a sea of people blocking our view. You can tell the interest in this matchup at an all-time high as they battle back toward ringside.
Joe, you've heard the phrase before, good friends, better enemies, and that looks like that's the picture being told inside that ring with Dean Radford and Eric Ecstasy.
Much like with New Jack and Balls Mahoney, they're friends out of the ring, but in the ring, they're competitors through and through. Radford off the top, hits that leg drop.
This could be all right here. Referee Roman Law. 2 count only, and that was a close 2, Joe.
We mentioned earlier, Radford and Ecstasy have been with each other through and through. They've helped motivate each other, helped better each other, helped push each other to the top. And that's exactly what we've seen here because they're competing for the biggest prize in IWC. what looked to be a brainbuster, Radford drills Ecstasy. What a sick-looking maneuver by Radford, getting 270, well, 269 over his head into the cover. Radford, oh, I can't believe Ecstasy kicked out of that. Ecstasy at his girth, not used to being suplexed and not used to being slammed with these high-impact maneuvers. Cannot believe he kicked out of that. Can you believe he kicked out of that, Chuck?
No, I tell you what, it was very close. And right now, you can tell that Dean Radford, as you said earlier on, he wants to stay the aggressor in this contest. And to keep the title, he's going to have to do that.
I believe Dean has the advantage in speed and agility, which you've seen thus far with moves such as the leg drop. Not so sure about power, considering how most of these men have been functioning so far. But listen to the crowd. Are they behind Eric Ecstasy? Are they 50-50? Kind of tough to tell as Eric battles out of the chin lock.
I personally think that they're behind Eric Ecstasy. They like to see the return of their sexual icon.
Oh no, abdominal stretch, tearing away the intercostal cartilage surrounding the ribs, and Eric Ecstasy in a lot of pain right now, especially considering, look at Eric Ecstasy's shoulder. He's had shoulder surgery in the past. That's why he's been out for 5 or 6 months. Dean Radford focusing on the shoulder. Not sure if it's the right one, but a shoulder.
Irish whip.
No way! Not the spine buster! I don't believe that.
He hit him with that spine buster. Shades of the enforcer, Arn Anderson right there. This could be it. A very slow suspect count by referee Roman Law. Wait a second.
Very good call. I've been calling Dean Radford spine buster Arn Anderson like for months, but it looks like Ecstasy. Oh, he's feeling it.
Joe, wait a second. If I may say, right now I feel 10 years old again. But correct me if I'm wrong. I think Eric Ecstasy is hulking up in that ring.
He's a house of flamers, Chuck. I mean, house of fire.
Yeah, what you said. Back and forth. Look at these guys standing toe-to-toe.
Ecstasy doesn't have much left, but he's putting all of it into those jabs to Dean Radford's jaw.
Wait a second.
Oh, if only Kingdom were here, they're going to buy the gamble if you will, Daddy.
Multiple personalities inside that ring by Eric Ecstasy.
Lady Killer takes down Dean Radford. A second Lady Killer, Radford down again.
Unbelievable. Inside that ring, Eric Ecstasy is showing that he can wrestle his own style and other wrestler styles.
Reversing the Irish whip, spinning heel kick by Radford. Talk about agility for a big man.
And Dean Radford needed that move, Joe. He needed to slow down that momentum by Eric Ecstasy, who was getting the crowd behind him.
Oh, I know what's coming out, Chuck. Talk about agility. That top rope elbow, 3/4 of the way across the ring. 260 pounds, flying at Eric's heart, and he got him picture perfect.
He caught him right underneath the chin and the sternum.
This could be it. This has got to be. No! Another near fall, says referee Roman Law.
The referee's hand was 2 inches, guaranteed 2 inches away from counting a 3, and Dean Radford retaining the championship.
Radford going up again.
Is he going to try again, Joe?
Looks like it. Might be going to the well once too often. Eric's starting to stir a little bit.
I don't know if I would do this if I were
Radford's up. Eric ducks. Out of the way. Both men down.
Sometimes the law of averages hits you, Joe, and you just shouldn't go to the well too often, because Eric Ecstasy was able to scout that move before.
Duck of the clothesline into a choke slam.
He caught him. He didn't catch all of it, but it was effective enough. And now I think it should be time for Eric Ecstasy to polish this off.
But he's pointing at the rope, Chuck. He's pointing at the turnbuckle. You're right, he should be finishing him off this choke slam attempt. Maybe try to hit an STD or something.
Well, Joe, 6 months ago, this would have been no man's land for Eric Ecstasy.
What? Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Ecstasy is not used to going to that top, and I don't know if he should add that to his repertoire of moves.
Ecstasy went for everything and found nothing.
And that was just a mistake right there.
What a chance he took. Obviously, the IWC title is so important to him, but he might have thrown it all away with just that one attempt.
Well, there could have come in that ring rust that we talked about at the onset of this contest.
Right.
Eric Ecstasy, he's trying moves. He should really maybe just stick to his arsenal from yesteryear.
Ecstasy's still fighting.
Wait a second.
It's the happy ending. Happy ending takes down Radford. Another signature move, another pinfall, like who got no.
And no happy ending there for Eric Ecstasy. He's only got that was almost a 3 count, but as they say, close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
Well, Eric's weight loss turning into a positive advantage now with the length this match has been going. Went for the sexually transmitted driver. Radford countered. Radicator. No, Eric counters that.
Look out! Boot to the midsection.
Second transmitted driver, Roman Law gets down, and Radford gets an STD. Sexually transmitted driver.
This should be it, Joe.
Can he get the cover?
If Roman Law could turn around, but he was just knocked for a loop.
The official's down. Fans are screaming for some assistance out here. Ecstasy's got the title won. I don't think anybody's kicked out of the sexually transmitted driver.
Absolutely. Eric Ecstasy needs to cover, but there's no referee in position as Roman Law took a size 12 right to the nose.
Ecstasy tried to revive the but he's woozy. He had Dean Radford's feet smack him right upside the temple. He doesn't know where he is right now.
Sometimes...
Don't try it again, Eric. Second rope, Dean counters. Radicator.
For the Radicator, Joe.
Radicator.
He's got it.
Oh my God! Why are the referee?
He just hit the Radicator on referee Roman Law.
Roman Law, we hardly knew ye. He is out for good, Chuck.
Well, if Roman Law wasn't out of it earlier, he is right now. Because he just took 269 pounds right on the top of his back.
No sense in trying to revive him now. Radford could have done that on purpose.
Wait a second.
Who's this?
What in the world's going on?
Who's this?
Who is this?
He's got a chair.
Oh!
Oh, man.
Wait a second.
Radford. Who is this? I don't get...
Who's inside that ring?
What is
this? It's a masked man who is now... Wait a second.
Holy shit! Oh, my God, JT Rogers! He's back!
What's JT Rogers doing here?
He's back!
He was fired from IWC months ago.
He was fired 6 months ago. He had a falling out with Eric Ecstasy back last fall in this building.
Wait a second. Joe!
It's back! Strawberry surprise! Strawberry surprise! Dean Radford just got sexually harassed.
Can the referee come around?
They're back. Roman lost two. Cover. He's got two. Can he get three? Can he get three? What a moment here at IWC. What a moment in the annals of time. What a shocker.
Ladies and gentlemen, behind this contest, IWC Champion, the 6-mile
JT Rogers left this company 6 months ago on bad terms with Norm Connors, bad terms with Eric Ecstasy, bad terms with the locker room, but now he's come back to help Eric Ecstasy win the IWC heavyweight title. What a night for Eric. What a moment. Sexual harassment is back in full force. I don't believe what I've seen. I thought Rogers was gone for good. I thought he was fired. I thought he'd never be back. But out of nowhere, a surprise appearance. JT making up for his wrongdoing, making up for turning on Eric last year as he just helped Eric win the IWC heavyweight title. Good God, what a moment. Eric Ecstasy, your new heavyweight champion. And they're not even done yet. Ecstasy. A new side of Eric Ecstasy being showed here. Is the old sexual harassment attitude back? Is the old sexual harassment disrespect back? Apparently in his t-shirt down the throat. Wait! Balls Mahoney, Shirley Doe. Mahoney and Doe are out here. Helping out their friend Dean Radford. Balls Mahoney, Shirley Doe back on the scene. Oh my God! You gotta be kidding me! Ecstasy in Vegas. Ecstasy Vegas and JT. Combine that with Bubba. Combine that with Gregory. God, this is sick. Bubba, Vegas and company. Their army's gotten too strong. After months of looking and searching. Oh man. Ecstasy saying to Norm, fire JT now. Obviously Eric not happy about how JT was dismissed from this company. But now, Bubba Vegas and company have the title in their stable. Good God, they're unstoppable.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest scheduled for one fall is the finals of Super Indy 3 and will determine the next Super Indy Champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, the moment of truth is upon us. This entire night has built to this, the Super Indy 3 tournament final. Alex Shelley versus Chris Sabin. Joe Dombrowski joined alongside Chuck Roberts here to call this action. Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, both wrestling twice already tonight. Definitely fatigue will be a factor, but how much of a factor, Chuck?
Well, it's definitely going to be a factor in this match, and I would suggest it's going to be more of a factor for Chris Sabin because he had a much longer match earlier on here tonight than did Alex Shelley, who just nearly escaped from getting past Onryo.
And remember that left arm of Chris Sabin. During his match with CM Punk, Chris Sabin could barely even move that left arm. As now Alex Shelley focusing right on that arm again, going for that hammer lock, but Chris Sabin on the counter, going for a face lock on, on Alex.
Doctor could please report to the locker area. The doctor in attendance could please report back to the locker room area. Thank you.
Obviously, a lot of fanfare going through this entire night has been just off the charts. Obviously, injuries occurring, chaos ensuing throughout the entire building. As in this match, we crown our Super Indy Champion. Just listen to the list of past champions. Super Hentai, winning the tournament. Super Indy 1, holding the title for almost a full year. AJ Styles holding that belt before having to surrender it for the tournament. Cole Cabana holding it for almost a full year. AJ Styles getting his second title reign just a couple short months ago, and now having to relinquish it again for tonight after his match with Christopher Daniels. Who will join that elite list?
I have no idea at this point. However, if I'm going to be betting on this contest here tonight, I am definitely going to go with, I have to go with Alex Shelley. The reason I got to go with Alex Shelley is because we talked about it when Super Indy started here tonight. It was all about momentum, and I really think, even though he's pretty much of a dark horse winner, Alex Shelley has that momentum that's going to give him the Super Indy title.
Speaking of momentum, look at Sabin trying to gather enough momentum to get out of the head, so he does into a side headlock. You mentioned Alex Shelley's earlier matches. The match was Super Hentai. We have a cover. Oh, two. Shelley bouncing his own shoulders off the mat.
That's very close. That would be tough to escape right there, and I'm surprised he got away with it. And you know the interesting thing here too, we saw earlier on, we saw it with Eric Ecstasy, we saw some ring rust. One thing that you haven't seen just yet, and maybe it's just a testament to this guy's conditioning, I haven't seen ring rust yet in Alex Shelley. And he's been out for a long time, as we talked about earlier, but he's doing a nice job. These two couldn't fit better for the finals of Super Indy 3.
Alex Shelley has yet to be in an extended contest here tonight. His first match, as I mentioned, double drop kick, double standoff again. Alex Shelley using a low blow to get a quick win over Super Hentai. Defeated Onryo in relatively short fashion, no offense to him, and there's the disrespect of Alex Shelley. So this is going to be the true test to see if Alex Shelley does have any ring rust, or if he is fully back to 100%.
Well, perhaps the one downfall Alex Shelley has is definitely his ego. He thinks he's a lot better than he is. Now, we know he's good, but I'm talking about, I mean, if the man's talent ability is an 8 on a 1 to 10, his ego's about a 20, if you know what I'm saying.
Definitely. Alex Shelley sits against Fujiwara Arbor. Obviously, he was watching on a monitor in the back. obviously he was watching the Sabin Punk match earlier tonight, knew that Sabin had a very weakened left arm, knew he could barely move the thing earlier on, and he's relentless in focusing on that arm. Very, very smart by Alex Shelley.
Well, that's exactly what you have to do. You have to actually dissect the body, take away a body part, work on it. Not only that, you got to watch what happened earlier in the night. It's all a part of tournament competition. You got to check out somebody's weaknesses, and you got to go after them.
And it looks like it's a case here where the work's already been done for him. Alex Shelley, I don't want to say he's having fun in there, but definitely he could have a lot harder task. Sabin counters the leapfrog, knife edge chop to the chest of Shelley as Sabin begins to battle back.
Even through the t-shirt, you could hear all of those chops in the 10th row.
Off the Irish whip, sunset flip, momentum carries over. Basement dropkick, counter, Sabin hits one of his own.
Sabin doing such a nice job. This guy, no question, is just a young stud in that ring, and he does such a nice job.
Sabin will go out without a fight. He is here to give it his all. The heart, the gut, the determination, and the springboard dropkick in between the shoulder blades.
He caught him right in the back and sent Alex Shelley out to maybe catch a breather, which is something Alex needs. Now look at this. Joe to the top. It looks like Chris Sabin's going to try something. High risk, perhaps.
Sabin's going to take a chance. Oh, but he took too much time to get his footing. Alex Shelley able to catch him. Both men battling for positioning.
I don't know. I wouldn't do it if it were me. Of course, I'm not in that ring.
Shelley.
No!
Oh, drapes the arm across the top rope.
A nice defensive strategy right there by Alex Shelley, suggesting, hey, if I can't push this guy off, I'm going to pull him down into me or on the ropes.
And that top rope isn't loose by any stretch. It's screwed in there very tight. That was a very hard structure that his arm just bounced off.
And he did a nice job inside that ring.
That was a beautiful snap.
It was very nice. Joe,
guest commentary by the hardcore chair swinging freak balls.
Oh, that's got to hurt the shoulder. That's got to hurt that side deltoid right on the arm there.
Got himself cleaned up a little bit. Chuck, you're not needed here anymore. You can leave. Balls can finish the show with me.
No, that's all right. We'll all stay.
Balls, this is kind of a little bit out of your element inside this ring.
This is nothing out of Oh, nice kick.
Balls, can we get a prediction? A man of your experience. Who's going to win Super Indy 3?
Who's left?
Well, we have Alex Shelley versus Chris Sabin. This is the final round.
This is it.
This is it for all the marbles.
Chris Sabin is in this?
Chris Sabin in the ring with Alex Shelley right now.
I think Chris Sabin will win this.
All right, there you go. Balls, Mahoney, despite
Chris Sabin is actually one of the best independent wrestlers I've seen in a long time. So, yeah, I'd say Chris Sabin.
I can't discount that. Despite the arm injury, Balls, Mahoney.
Chris Sabin is one of the best.
Picking Chris Sabin.
And Balls,
arm injury, I blew my shoulder on Monday doing a 395-pound bench press. I lost the weight and it landed on my chest. Dude, arm injury is only mental, all right? You're going to go, you're going to go. Look at that. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this submission. Look at the reverse Japanese armbar. Oh, my goodness. That is so beautiful.
Well, I'm not exactly sure. A reverse Japanese arm, is that what you called it? A reverse
That's what I called it, a reverse Japanese arm.
Balls that extensive towards Japan. Take his word for it.
No, absolutely. I mean, the man knows what he's talking about.
Also, no shoot wrestling. Balls' school opens June 1st.
Balls is a lot more qualified for this position than Chuck Roberts is.
Mahoney, Chris Candido, and Danny Dorian open our wrestling school June 1st in Townsville, New Jersey.
Shameless
plug. We
plug.
also have shoot fire. Oh, wow. Look at that. He's wrenching that arm right against the rope like that. Look at that.
Not to take away from this match.
He's pulling that deltoid right out of its socket. He's pulling that shoulder. Oh! That's just wrenching it that much closer out of its socket. He's trying to separate that shoulder so he can work those muscles and tendons.
Shelley definitely knows what he's doing out there. A match tactician.
Right into the deltoid. Look at that precision knee. Right into the deltoid.
Balls, I want to know, since you're watching with such intent the finals of Super Indy 3, could you be the first entrant for Super Indy 4?
Drop the hold into the corner. What?
Balls, could you be the first entrant for Super Indy 4?
I'll wrestle anybody, anytime, and as long as they want. Nobody can. Oh, kick! Oh, kick! Oh, kick to the thigh. He caught it. I see an arm drag. No. Right back to the arm.
Sabin firing back, but you see the weakness of that left arm. Alex Shelley exploiting the injury perfectly, Balls.
Yes, it was. That was a beautiful move. He caught that, and he brought that foot up right into the mush, and he doesn't know where he is.
Alex Shelley, such a smart tactician out there.
Oh, look, watch, here it goes again. Into the reverse Japanese armbar. That's exactly what that is. He's got the legs across the back of the shoulders, and he's got his arm, and he's extending that the wrong way, fellas. I'll tell you from experience, with him pushing up and the legs extended
sliding down, that stretches out every tendon and every ligament in the deltoid and trapezius region. There is nothing like that in the world. Unless you have it done to you, you do not know what you're feeling.
So what you're saying is that hurts.
Hurts. Look at him. He has to use his feet. He can't use his arms.
That's his one strength right now.
He's
You're right.
using his feet.
His left arm is pretty much dead at this point. He's got to use
it. Over. Look at it. Oh.
Balls, obviously these guys have muscles in places that Joe doesn't have places, but let me say this.
Wait a second.
I would be remiss, and I'm going to throw this in to take nothing away from this match. Balls, I need to ask you right here.
Hard form shot by Sabin.
Look at the form.
Fighting back. Let the arm rest again.
Joe,
Orange stretch ring.
I can take a number to get a word in edgewise here. Balls, I have to ask you, while the action is kind of slowed down here, what about you and Sebastian Dark? I'm going to ask you right here, right now. I don't know what happened earlier on, but I know you were on the receiving end of a pretty tough chair shot, and you weren't very happy.
All I know is tonight, I didn't know I was wrestling New Jack until I got here. And you know what? That's fine with me. Oh, look at that. He's got the reverse hammerlock with the foot over the head. That's putting more pressure on the deltoid region. It's also putting pressure on the elbow, and that is not comfortable. That's why he just fought out of that right away.
Got a lot of leverage.
There's nothing comfortable about that. You stay in that, and you're done. Sebastian Dark is trying to make a name for himself. He's a good, young, independent wrestler, and he could probably make a lot of money in this business at some point. But for him to come in, oh, shoulder breaker, top rope.
Shelley taking a chance.
Oh,
buries the knee right to the arm.
Into the deltoid, rear trapezius region. That has got to hurt. I don't know if he's going to kick out of this, folks. Oh my God, he kicks out.
Balls, he didn't hook the leg there, and you know, if you're going to get a guy with that type of a high-risk move, you got to hook the leg.
If your arm is that bad, there's sometimes you're not going to get out of that. That's pure instinct right there. Don't stand your back. In amateur wrestling, you don't stand your back for more than a second or you're pinned. That's why you never see Balls Mahoney get pinned.
Jumping kick, Sabin with a counter, and both men are down. 20 point in the match, Balls. Sabin has to try to get back to a vertical base to combat Alex Shelley. Chuck, go get us some coffee.
Thanks a lot, Joe. Joe, the last thing you need is more caffeine, pal.
Referee Bruce Gray administering the 10 count.
I'm going to get some Mountain Dew. I'll be right back.
All right, well, we look forward to that.
I hope you heard all that. He was kind of behind the microphone, but guest commentary by Balls Mahoney. That shows the vested interest the whole locker room has in Super Indy 3. As Sabin fires back with some chops. Off the ropes. Oh! Put his head down too soon. Counter to that spinning heel kick. The adrenaline's pumping, Chuck, on Chris Sabin. He can't feel the pain anymore. Sabin fires down the clothesline and a back elbow.
Why say anything else? I thought he was going to join us again.
Well, look at this. Backbreaker variation. Turns it into a DDT. Sabin busting out innovation despite only having one functioning arm. Cover, like he got it all.
Two count only.
What a win that would be.
2 count only. And I'm going to say this now, Joe. I'm going on record. If Balls Mahoney doesn't make it in 10 years as a wrestler, he certainly can make it as an announcer or a car salesman. Either way, the guy's got a future in public speaking. 3
world tag titles, he hasn't made it. Are you kidding me?
Oh.
Shelley slipping off the rope a little, but still, any amount of pressure put on that arm has got to hurt. And he turns that to a beautiful submission. Look at the bridge by Alex Shelley.
To be able to turn a mistake into an offensive maneuver is really something strong for a young athlete like Alex Shelley, and you saw it right there. But don't forget, as you can tell right now, this isn't 2 guys that just got in the ring that are blowing up after 5 minutes. These guys have both each been in 2 prior matches earlier than this. And now, this is their 3rd time.
Wait, look at this. Sabin puts him over the shoulder. Cradle shot. Cradle shot. This match is history. He's got it. Oh my God. I don't believe he kicked out of that.
2 count only. I have no idea how he kicked out of that. But he certainly did. I know how he did and Alex did, but none of them.
Tiger Driver, that was sick. A cover. It's got to be it this time. Sabin gets 3. Chris Sabin is the winner. You said Chris Sabin was going to win.
And Chris Sabin is now the Super Indy Champion, right? As I called him, Chris Sabin, one of the best independent wrestlers on the East Coast of the United States. And he just won Super Indy 2004, and I give him nothing but props. Chris Sabin.
I applaud your prediction skills, Balls, and I applaud Chris Sabin. Victorious here in Super Indy 3. Balls Mahoney and the entire locker room proud of Sabin, the Super Indy Champion.
He's been on the camera on purpose. I'll fucking smoke that dude. I don't give a fuck.
What a win by Chris Sabin. We apologize for that technical mishap there. Chris Sabin, the 4th ever Super Indy Champion. Hentai, Styles, Cabana, and Sabin. After AJ Styles defends that Super Indy belt one last time versus the Bone Angel Christopher Daniels, Chris Sabin will be awarded the Super Indy Championship. And I couldn't think of a more deserving man. His undefeated streak in IWC continues. Despite the arbitrary, Chris Sabin is champion. Are we going to have a showing of respect with Sabin and Alex Shelley? I hope we do, but I doubt it. Shelley's a sneaky, conniving person.
I was just told that I was spitting on the camera. I am extremely sorry for the people that own this merchandise and that own the camera and own our sound system.
Showing of respect in the ring.
I could sit here and I could be Balls Mahoney, the real Balls Mahoney, and tell this guy where he could go, because if it wasn't for someone like me, he wouldn't have a camera to shoot wrestling, to shoot someone like me in the ring. He wouldn't have a monitor to sit in front of himself. But I won't do that. I will sit here and be the professional person and say, I'm sorry.
All right, Balls, now you're spitting on me. Take it easy there, buddy. The moment of truth, the match we've all been waiting for. AJ Styles' final Super Indy Championship defense of this reign as he takes on the world-renowned fallen angel, Christopher Daniels. AJ and Daniels. AJ Styles, of course, was supposed to be in the Super Indy tournament to begin with, but he called promoter Norm Connors, called the IWC offices, and said he refused to compete in this tournament. He refused to enter the 8-man tournament. He wanted a shot at the IWC heavyweight title, but Norm Connors played hardball. He said, AJ, you have to defend that championship one last time, and it's against Christopher Daniels.
Christopher Daniels, good friend of mine. Christopher Daniels, I think, is one of the most underrated, even though he's most known on college indie shows go. Christopher Daniels is one of the most underrated wrestlers. Well, AJ Styles, I think, is one of the most overrated wrestlers.
And a collar and elbow tie-up, Christopher Daniels and AJ Styles locking up center ring.
I'll be honest with you, I'm biased right now. I want Christopher Daniels to beat him up.
Joe Dombrowski here at ringside alongside Balls Mahoney, the hardcore chair swinging freak. A special
Another
guest
collar
here.
elbow, another collar elbow, 3 collar elbows.
Joe,
These guys are just
Joe
trying
Balls,
to test
I'm
their
here just
strength.
not in voice. No, please go ahead.
No, please talk.
I'm kidding. Actually, it's great to actually have Balls Mahoney here. Balls, please, you give great analysis. I love to hear it. Go with it.
I think Chris Daniels has the edge on AJ Styles. AJ Styles, oh, look at the takedown, look at the front chancery, and then reverse into the other front chancery. Another reverse into a front chancery, another reverse into a front chancery, and slipped out by Chris Daniels. This is great chain wrestling, one after the other.
That was the longest sentence I've ever heard. But it's well deserving. AJ Styles and the Fallen Angel. Christopher Daniels largely considered to be the best independent professional wrestler of the 1990s. Styles considered the best
90s,
wrestler.
I consider Chris Daniels to be the best independent wrestler of the last 10, 20 years.
Styles considered the best professional wrestler in this decade. Sort of a contest of Styles.
No, I don't consider AJ Styles the best wrestler in the last 10 years. I consider Chris Daniels the best wrestler in the last 15 years. You know why? Because I've been the most underrated wrestler for the last 30 years, and nobody recognized me. Wow, look at that. Into a tie-up, into a takedown, into a roll-up. And there's a pinfall, and the ref would not count it because it's just nothing but a collar and elbow tie-up, and they're working this. Has to be a clean break here.
Competitive spirit of
competitive
these
wrestling.
men
This is
showing
wrestling.
through. Neither man
This is
relinquishing the
wrestling.
tie-up.
This is wrestling.
That is right, sir.
And I have to clap there.
Daniels really wanted a shot at AJ Styles no matter what. That's why this match was signed.
Oh, don't worry. Chris Daniels will take a shot when the time is right.
This is going to be a classic. This has match of the year
Leg, a high crotch
written all
outside
over.
single leg. That was a high crotch into an outside single leg, and he's got the takedown now.
And notice
Chris
Daniels
is
covering
trying to
up.
block. Oh, that's a dangerous spot to be on your stomach right there, but on your back you can get pinned, so it's kind of catch-22. Reverse into an arm lock. He's got that cross collar and elbow right there. You can see that there. He's got the arm lock, and he's got the wrist into a wrist lock.
You know, Balls, both of these men know they won't walk out of this match with the Super Indy Championship.
Nobody
that
is
goes,
walking out of this match safe. Whoever walks out of this match as the winner is going to feel this for the next 2 weeks. I promise you.
The Super Indy Championship goes to Chris Sabin.
Chris
Neither of
Sabin's
these men
going for the test of strength.
will capture the championship, but it's about more than that. It's about pride.
Test of strength right here.
I see this.
Will it happen?
It's about pride. It's about seeing which of these men is the better
athlete.
athlete.
Beautiful wrestling hold into a top wrist lock. That was beautiful. Chris Daniels just sucked him into a top wrist lock. That was an absolute beautiful psychological move.
Not surprising to see both men start out very slow, sort of a feeling out process. They don't want to make any mistakes, especially this
Well, why
early
would
in
you
the
want
match.
to make a mistake? This is for the championship right here.
Exactly.
And if you're going to try to go really hard, you can get caught early, and there's no reason for that.
And it should be noted that even though Chris Sabin is our next Super Indy Champion, Christopher Daniels can also add his name to that list if he beats Styles for the belt before it goes to Sabin.
You know what? I have to say this. Chris Sabin is one of the most excellent wrestlers I've seen. And I say this right now. Christopher Daniels, whether he wins or loses this matches, will never, ever lose to Chris Sabin.
Very bold prediction, Mr. Mahoney, as Daniels sits in the side headlock on the phenomenal AJ Styles.
I will do a 4-way elimination match with Chris Sabin, with Chris Daniels, with AJ Styles, and I promise you, I may not win that match, but whoever has the displeasure to feel my stretches, to feel my wrestling ability, will never be the same.
Well, something to put in the IWC suggestion box. Balls Mahoney obviously technically sound as well as a rough, tough brawler.
Balls Mahoney is technically sound. Balls Mahoney prefers to be technically sound. Balls Mahoney prefers technical wrestling matches. He just never gets them because of his reputation. Wow,
Daniels counters into a go-behind. Sorry, Chuck. We're all talking over each other. I apologize.
I'm so sorry. I'm going to stop tooting Balls Mahoney's horn. Balls Mahoney's going to talk about these guys. I'm very sorry.
No, I just think, Joe, you brought up a very interesting point. If I can throw my 2 cents in, I think whomever wins this match, I think that person should wrestle Chris Sabin. Then we determine who the Super Indy Champion is. That's what I think we should do.
If Chris Sabin does not get the next title match, and that whole tournament was a sham and a farce, the winner of the Super Indy should definitely get the next title shot at our world champion.
Well, Chris Sabin is the next Super Indy Champion regardless. Whoever wins this championship, not going to exit with a belt as far as I understand. This is basically just a match for pride. Win, lose, or draw. Sabin is the next Super Indy Champion. Look at AJ Styles backing off a little, uncharacteristic.
No, this is a smart move. AJ Styles is regrouping right now. He's taking a break. And you know what? Look at Chris Daniels. He did not advance. He did not try to stop the ref count. Chris Daniels knows he's taking a break, and he allowed him to get back in the ring, because otherwise, a 10 count, he looks like a whip, and that's it.
Ever since winning the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Styles has got a bit of an attitude change. He's still well respected and a very respectful young man.
The last person to hold the NWA World title was Ric Flair. That is not recognized by Balls Mahoney and never will be.
Okay, well, excuse me, the TNA Heavyweight Championship.
And that will never be recognized as a world title until it is defended in Japan and Mexico and Puerto Rico and England and Africa.
I believe it's been defended.
And that is my shoot opinion.
Most of those places but Africa. But regardless, Styles now working on the arm of Christopher Daniels.
Joe, if I were you, I wouldn't disagree with Paul.
No. We're here to do opinions, and we're here to do our knowledge of professional wrestling. And you can see the hammerlock he has is wrenching in right now.
Well, we got two very, very sound mat tacticians. We could be here a while with these men going tit for tat, back and forth.
It will be a pleasure to watch this.
I have to agree with that.
It will be a pleasure to comment on this.
This is poetry in motion.
Look at that. Look at that hold he has on him right now. He's trying to hyperextend that elbow of Christopher Daniels, and now he puts it back into the hammerlock, and he's trying to. Chris Daniels is fighting it. Now he goes to an armbar. Look at that. Look at this wrestling. This is something special right now.
This is art form at its finest. A tremendous matchup. Match of the year caliber already, I can say, and we're not even halfway into this match, you can tell.
Halfway? We're 1/3 into this match. Whoa! Nice trip.
Pace quickens. Daniels kicks out of it. Daniels missing the elbow.
Miss.
Styles misses the knee, and both men back up to a vertical base.
This is what I'm talking about. This is some of the best technical wrestling you'll see. You ain't gonna see this on WWE television. You're not gonna see this on TNA television. You know why? Because they're afraid of this. This is professional wrestling at its best.
Balls, the respect you have for both of these men is very evident. Pick us a winner.
I won't pick a winner. You know why? Because whoever loses, I'm going to feel bad for, and whoever wins, I'm going to feel glad for, because I consider both of them. Even though I have a little bit of a jealous streak of AJ Styles, I consider both of these men a friend of mine, and I just wish them both the best of luck in this business. And I'm not an old man. I'm only 32 years old, and these guys can give me a run for my money.
Styles stitching in the side headlock now, but Daniels trying to get that right arm around the face of Styles, trying to pull his body away from Daniels' body.
Both guys are actually doing a very nice job, and the interesting thing about this too, and Balls, you can attest to this, that AJ Styles has been a pretty good fixture of IWC in recent months, and where Christopher Daniels comes in and out, so I would think that that would give a little bit of an upper hand. This is sort of a home field advantage for AJ Styles in that ring.
Well, in that case, then it would have been an upfield battle for anybody that I wrestled, because I'm in and out of IWC wrestling.
Oh, absolutely. There's no
question. The only
question.
reason I'm in and out of IWC wrestling is because of prior commands and prior bookings.
Sure.
I have 3 other promotions, and I'm not going to promote them here, because that's not what I'm here for. I'm here for IWC wrestling, because this is my home in Pittsburgh. But
oh, absolutely.
I want you to watch this. Watch it. Look at that side headlock. Look at the side headlock that AJ Styles has on right there. He's digging that in. Now, see, if he had stepped over right there, he never would have got reversed into that. If he steps over right now, he can suffocate. He can actually suffocate. There it is. 1, 2, and he'll kick out of that.
The weight.
If he steps over, oh, wow, look at the reversal.
Oh, nice reversal.
Into a Fujiwara armbar, a version of the Fujiwara armbar. That was something pretty.
Obviously, Daniels' experience in Japan, competing for New Japan Pro Wrestling, among other promotions, shining through as he tries to break out all stops to subdue AJ Styles.
AJ Styles, nothing given, nothing taken. AJ Styles is one of the best young talents I have ever seen in the last 10 years.
No doubt about it.
But Christopher Daniels has been around longer than that, and Christopher Daniels is a better talent, in my opinion, than AJ Styles. Christopher Daniels is one of the most recognized and then thought to be overrated workers. I think Chris Daniels is the top indie worker in the business right now. Look at that. Look at that. AJ Styles tried to be flashy to take a nip up to convert to these fans, and he gets stuck down with the side headlock again. And again, if Chris Daniels steps over onto that headlock, that match is over. AJ Styles will not be able to breathe, and a simple headlock can pin somebody, and I will prove it to every one of you. One day, I'm going to be the most boring match in the world. I'm going to pin somebody in 6 minutes with a side headlock.
Balls, let me ask you this. If you're in the finals of Super Indy 3 and you got the chance to pick,
I chair shot whoever it is.
Who would you?
If I'm in the finals, I'm going to be tired, I'm going to be bloody, and I'm going to be ready to go go, and I'm going to chair shot whoever it is, or nutcracker them off the top
Off the ropes, leapfrog,
nice
Daniels, he's on center, hip toss, takes Styles down. An arm drag takeover.
Beautiful Ricky Steamboat style arms like that.
Beautiful, got way under AJ Styles.
And Balls, we certainly would never want you to change your style because you have a very unique style all in your own. But seriously, who would you prefer to take on if you could pick? Would you take on Christopher Daniels? Would you rather take on the phenomenal AJ Styles?
Do you want to know who I would love to take on?
Who?
Rob Van Dam. One last time. You don't understand, the last 2 years of ECW, every night I wrestled Rob Van Dam.
Every night? Well, that's...
Every night. I beat him 6 times. Nobody knows about that because it wasn't on TV.
Well, look at
beautiful head scissor into the Japanese
Takes it down.
With the kip off.
Can't get the
into
cover.
Headlock takeover.
Side headlock takedown by AJ Styles. As Balls Mahoney goes psychotically excited.
Absolutely. The action back and forth. And I would suggest, Balls, many of those matches that weren't televised were probably some of your more classic matches with Rob Van Dam.
If they televised some of the ones that weren't televised, the televised matches would look like
I'm going to believe him. I definitely think that's true, Joe. I definitely think so.
And speaking of classic matches, AJ...
TV was 30 minutes, house shows were 55.
AJ still with the side headlock in on Christopher Daniels.
Here comes the elbow.
Daniels fighting out shots in the midsection. Shoulder block style sends Daniels down to the canvas hard. And Daniels pops right back up. Styles charge again. Leapfrog. Styles returns the favor. Up and over. Drop kick. Daniels holds on. Superior intelligence by the Bone Angel. But Styles hits a picture-perfect drop kick of his own.
You know, these two guys have wrestled each other so many times, 2 count only. These guys have wrestled each other so many times, it's almost like a storybook in that ring. Each guy knows what they're going to do, and each guy knows how to counter each other's moves.
And the key to this match is varying your offense.
Suplex here.
Varying your offense. What you normally do, Styles hit the suplex.
AJ Styles. 2! Oh, I almost thought he might have had him there. That was a beautiful snap suplex there. Standing snap suplex. If that was standing with the helm vertical, he brought them back real quick as soon as he thought that was up. That was a beautiful suplex.
Styles so graceful in the ring, so fluid, can transition from one move to another
shot. Now it's starting to get personal, guys. This is where it starts to get personal. When them chops start, there's nothing but enemies in there.
That's starting to open up a little. Styles scoops him up. Backbreaker to the small of the back of the fallen angel.
Christopher Daniels has got to be feeling that move in the kidney area. That knee did not land in the small of the back. That knee landed right in the kidney area.
Styles now with Daniels in control. Forearm shot backs him into the turnbuckle.
He goes to whip him off right here. Hard turnbuckle shot. He charges it. Oh,
there it is. Styles hesitated for a minute and he paid for the Daniels elbow. Up and over. Cross-body counter drove in the knee.
Breaker. That is a rib breaker. That is nothing but a rib breaker.
Drove the knee right into the rib cage.
Used his own momentum to pull him into his knee into the ribs.
Balls, that'll break your ribs and make you lose your lunch. Unbelievable momentum right
or your liquor, whatever you're doing before the match. That's coming out right there.
To each his own, absolutely.
This match going to the outside now. Christopher Daniels and AJ Styles brawling on the floor. Rams that rib cage right into the edge of the apron. Daniels has found a weakened body part, and now it's time to focus on it.
You know what? I often believe that there's a difference between putting on a great wrestling match and committing yourself to putting on a great
show. He just
show.
rammed the side of the rib into the corner post over there. I don't know if you caught that. He just picked him up by the side in the side slam in the front and rammed his rib right into the corner post. There is no forgiving there. That is solid steel. There is nothing giving. There is not a ring. There's not wood. There's not padding. That was steel. And he's continuing to work on the rib. Watch this. Shoulder into the rib cage.
Backs him into the corner. Nowhere for Styles to go. Focusing on the rib cage again. When your ribs are hurting, Balls, you're going to test this. It's so hard to breathe. So the longer this match goes, the more it favors Daniels.
Look, watch this. Watch this. Vertical suplex. I did a rib breaker.
Still focusing on that body part. Christopher Daniels is relentless.
If you can't breathe. 1, 2. Oh, I thought that was it.
But not a lot of energy in that kick out.
If you can't breathe, you can't fight. Rule 1.
Christopher Daniels has AJ Styles right where he wants him. AJ Styles hurting now.
Another rib buster. That is the old Sergeant Slaughter rib buster move. Oh, and then a kick to the ribs.
Oh, Daniels has a set game plan here. you know Daniels would love to be a Super Indy Champion. Love to put his name along that list of Styles, Cabana, Hentai, and Sabin.
Well, you know that Chris Daniels is the fallen angel. Chris Daniels does not care about the rules. Another backbreaker, which also takes the side of the ribs into effect there. Chris Daniels is the fallen angel. Chris Daniels does not care about the rules. He doesn't want to break them, but if he does, you know what? It's all about winning. Oh, another knee to the ribs. Knee to the ribs.
Since AJ Styles into the ring post, notice how Christopher Daniels has taken a more methodical approach to this match. He's much more strategic.
Daniels up and over. Styles, back body drop, takes the fallen angel down. Now AJ Styles might be able to battle back now. Might be able to get the focus off of AJ's ribs.
There could be a great momentum change needed for AJ Styles.
But look at AJ sucking wind. He's in so much pain. Tearing away at
more stress on the rib cage and the muscles surrounding the abdominal region and latissimus dorsi.
That intercostal cartilage being stretched by the fallen angel.
Here comes the deltoid region, the abdominal region, and the latissimus dorsi region. All muscles that he's been working on all night. He's putting the submission on him. I guarantee you, if this stays on in a tight way, this match is over.
Very astute analysis, Balls, and Daniels, little insult to injury with the right hand, continuing to punish AJ Styles. Look at the torque on AJ Styles' midsection.
And so easy.
Balls Mahoney has himself a good old time, like an old country square dance. Go ahead, John.
I was just going to say, what was awesome was how Christopher Daniels turned that hip toss into an abdominal stretch with relative ease.
Styles battling back now. Somehow he's got enough left in his system to fight through the pain and take it to the fallen angel. Daniels puts on the brakes. Hot shot.
On the cable ropes. Those are not rope ropes. Those are cable ropes. Just like the old WCW NW rings, just like the ECW ring. Those aren't WWE ropes. Those are cable, steel cable.
Usually the hot shot affects the throat, but Daniels made a mid-air adjustment and dropped him down right in his ribs. Jumping in, Zaguri kick, sends Styles to the corner.
What is keeping AJ Styles on his feet?
Amazing. He's out on his feet right now, Balls. I can guarantee you he has no idea where he is.
He wants to win so bad. Look at, kick to the rib cage. He goes out.
Styles is such a fighting champion.
See, now you're in my area. Now you take the chair and you jam into the ribs and you hit him in the back.
Well, he doesn't want to get disqualified. He doesn't want to win this championship.
You're not going to disqualify it. If you got a 5 count, you're not going to.
Rams the ribs into the apron again. AJ Styles, such a strong champion.
Hi, woman.
You know, actually, Joe, Balls has a great point. A wrist lock never beat
Arabian moonsault! The Arabian moonsault!
Arabian moonsault.
Daniels takes down Styles and look at him bump for the crowd.
Unbelievable.
And look at the bump for Balls Mahoney. Even Balls gave that a standing ovation.
And you know what? Balls is right. His analysis, a wrist lock never beat anybody, Joe, but a tire iron sure will.
The first high-impact maneuver in this match executed perfectly as Christopher Daniels has AJ Styles sucking wind on the outside and a lot of pain. And AJ Styles is such a great champion. He doesn't want to go down without fighting. He doesn't want to go down without putting forth his full effort. That's the only thing keeping AJ Styles in this match at this point, in my humble opinion. Breaks in with the elbow drop. As a cover, and AJ Styles kicks out.
And to hit a move like that this late in a match between these two, I don't know if he should have done it, but it was effective nonetheless.
And Daniels right back into that submission hold now, stretching the shoulder, stretching the neck area, focusing away from the abdominal muscles, now going to the neck. Perhaps Daniels landed on Styles in such a way where he thinks he has another weakness he can exploit on the phenomenal wall.
And this is an extension of Super Indy 3. It's the type of action we've seen all night long, because let's face it, these two guys, Super Indy competitors, and they're doing a great job inside that ring. Unbelievable, methodical wrestling here tonight, Joe.
But like I mentioned earlier, it's not about the Super Indy Championship. That's relinquished at the end of this match as far as I know. This is about pride. This is about respect. This is about seeing, Arabian moonsault again. It's about competitive spirit and seeing who's the best. Daniels off the Arabian moonsault. Almost gets it.
I thought that was going to be all, but no, a very close 2.5 count right there.
Styles was just a little too close to the ropes for Daniels to pin him. Notice Styles tangled up in those ropes as he kicked out of that fall.
Unbelievable action between these two competitors inside the ring. And again, it's like poetry in motion. Look at these guys, Joe, still going back and forth.
Still in a stalemate after all this time. AJ charges. Clothesline counter, the elbows out of the STO attempt. AJ Styles scoops him up.
Could it be
spinning Uranagi? I'm not sure if he got all of it, but the spinning Uranagi connects on the fallen angel, Christopher Daniels.
Guys, sorry about that. I just had to like expel some gas out of my body part.
Oh, boy.
Real small in a second.
That's okay. We may have to change. Thank you,
Don't
Balls.
waft. Do not waft, Balls.
Thank you, Balls. We may have
Sorry
to.
about that, guys. I had to take a pause. This is how bad my body is. I just stood up to pop for that, and my knee went out.
Hard shot by Styles, and a nice bench chop takes down Daniels.
Well, hopefully-
Big kick to the face of Daniels. Styles has a second win. He's in control. Satellite head beautifully done.
What action still being displayed by these
Listen to
two men?
close line.
Hits the dragon. Hurricanrana.
What a takedown, such
Why
fluidity,
did he
such
not try
grace.
to go for a cover right there? This is about winning, not about trying to be a flash.
Hey, Styles is still trying to battle back. He's trying to hit these high impact moves to subdue
he's trying
Daniels
to battle back,
to a
he
point
should
where he
try
can
to
pin him.
Watch
Oh,
this.
wait,
I agree
charging.
with you. Look out.
Diving off the top.
And it looks like
Touching
to me,
nothing.
AJ Styles took the brunt of that.
Flip dive,
Oh.
touching nothing. Unbelievable.
Balls, when's the last time you used that move in your repertoire?
1996.
Interesting. I think I remember it.
No, you don't, 'cause I'm wanting balls then.
Oh, well, maybe I don't.
Both men
I was
hit.
a Buddha Singh and Boo Bradley, and both Buddha Singh and Boo Bradley both did a jumping helo over the top rope. One against Axel Rotten, and one against, what was his name? Jimmy Cicero.
Both
The
men,
wise guy.
both men hitting the
wise
ground
guy,
with a
Jimmy
splat.
Boo
Cicero.
Bradley did his Jimmy Cicero.
Can we stay on topic,
Oh,
folks?
well,
AJ Styles
Both
just
men
did a
hitting-
super helo over the top rope. And it looked like to me that AJ Styles took the brunt of that.
Both men hitting with a very sickening thud on the other side of the thing. You gotta wonder if either of these guys have anything left to continue.
Oh, they got it left. Listen to this crowd. They definitely have it left.
there's no question. Neither one of these guys are going to let a move like
Well-
that stop this match.
Well, Styles executed the move, but Daniels is the first one left in the ring. And then taking more out of Styles
No, they're still on their feet.
than it did Daniels.
Of course
Unbelievable.
they are.
Spins
Look
off. Phenomenon. The phenomenon. He calls it the phenomenon. That springboard into the inverted DDT. Cover. No. Here,
Daniels
folks.
kicks out. That's all energy, endurance, and you know what? That's desire.
What a battle. Desire is absolutely right. The will to win is what it's about.
More gas just passed.
You know,
Have some decorum.
Well, hey, at least
Neckbreaker counter off the suplex. Beautiful move by Styles. Cover. Goose Gray's down. Another kick out.
Sorry I want Chris Daniels, man. I'm biased.
Well, I'm used to that with Kingdom James always over here, but that's okay.
But I will not interfere. I will not set foot in this match. I just want to see who's going to win. I just enjoy Christopher Daniels.
Joe, please wipe off your glasses. They're all fogged
I
up.
enjoy AJ Styles also, but Christopher Daniels is one of my favorites.
Blue
Sit
Thunder,
out, power.
Blue Thunder Bomb. The Blue Thunder Bomb gets a count of two.
Joe, I thought that was it.
That's a Daniels specialty. Learn that over in Japan. The Blue Thunder Bomb takes down AJ, but only for a count of two. And listen to the fans rally behind AJ. AJ's been here more often. He's the sentimental
AJ's
favorite.
on regular television. This is ridiculous.
He's the local
These
favorite.
people should be for Christopher
Hey,
Daniels.
but Daniels is well known around these parts too.
So's Balls Mahoney, but they don't chant for me like that. You know why they chant for me?
Standing Aranagi by Christopher Daniels.
I'm not going to do that. Here comes Chris Daniels.
The BME,
Double
best
jump
moonsault ever.
That's on
But
his
Styles countered the BME, the
There's
best
the
moonsault
elbow.
ever. AJ elbows out of it. Stuck to the right hand. German suplex. Rolls through.
A reload into
Belly to back. Face buster. Beautiful move by Styles.
This is it. It's got to be
He's
over.
got the cover too.
Kick
He
out.
got, oh man. Another kick out. As Balls applauds Daniels' effort.
Chris Daniels wants this so bad. I know Chris.
There's no doubt about that.
Chris wants something this bad in a long time. Come on.
Both these men want this so bad. That's why they're still in this match. Putting past all the pain, all the fatigue, to still keep fighting.
And you know what? There's only one organization that's going to bring it to you, and it's IWC Wrestling. This
And
is
you
what
better
it's
believe
all about right here. I don't know what to say.
Don't take it,
Unbelievable.
Chris.
Where else can you get this on
Don't
free
take it,
television?
Chris.
Is he going to the Styles Clash?
Good block.
Daniels drops to one knee, turns into dead weight, countering the Styles Clash. Styles
Good
tries to
block.
muscle him up again. Softens him up a little more. Can he get Daniels up? He can't. Does he even have enough energy to get Daniels up at this point?
I thought he was
Powerbomb attempt.
Pile driver.
Counter. Counter with a kick.
A roll-up Joe.
He's got it. No, he hangs on. Styles reverses. Go behind him his own. Shot to the kidney. Styles flips up. Oh! Goes to the phenomenon. Daniels counters. Northern Lights. Northern Lights leg hook. Oh my God. What a near fall.
Referee
Daniels.
Bruce Ray had to be a half an inch away from a 3 count right there.
Out of nowhere, Daniels counters that offense, hits the Northern Lights, and just like that, a split second could be the difference. Daniels almost defeated Styles out of nowhere.
I'm not commentating anymore because I'm biased. I'm going to go watch this like the other fans. I'm going to sip on the merchandise.
Do it. All right.
We certainly thank Balls Mahoney for his guest commentary.
Hey, Joe.
We couldn't get a... We got to regroup from that.
Well, it's...
Don't hit the camera. Daniels high impact move. Cover to Styles. Oh, another fall. My God.
Joe, it's tough to get a word in edgewise, but you know what? I don't mind. I love to sit there and hear the years of experience that Balls Mahoney has. And I tell you what, the guy may have a future taking your job.
What? Balls Mahoney, I'll tell you what. A class act. Obviously has an interest in this match. Obviously he's got a lot of experience. He gets a little too excited, but I like the guy. But now back to action.
Absolutely. And one final word with Balls Mahoney. If I'm Sebastian Dark, I'm going to be
jumping into Gary kick. Balls and Dark is a war to be set on another day. But right now we have the two greatest athletes in independent wrestling today, putting it all on the line, giving you of their souls for this match.
Well, that's obviously a debatable comment right there, but you know what? I would tend to perhaps agree with you. Perhaps two of the best in independent wrestling today, bar none. I would perhaps agree.
But
could be a good argument.
Do any of these guys have enough left to stand up? Styles using the ropes for leverage, back to his feet. Daniels back up as well. Vertical base, look how tired both men are. They've been battling for an astronomically long amount of time.
To be able to throw punches this late in the game.
Do they have anything behind them? That's the question.
Well, can you hear him, Joe? I can hear him all the way back here.
Great point there. AJ Styles giving the best of the fisticuffs exchange. Hard knife edge chop from the fallen angel. My God, what effort, what heart, what guts, what drive, what determination, what competitive spirit as they trade forearm shots back and forth. This is the art form of professional wrestling. This is why you're a fan.
I would agree with that, Joe.
Backslide, 2, kick out. Styles, love how he's struck cradle, love how he's struck. He's got 3. No.
2 count only, close to it. That.
Pele kick countered. He went for the Pele. Oh, counter. Oh my God. What an ear fall. Daniels up and over, sunset flip. Styles counters. Charges in. Up and over Daniels. Trying to go for the sunset flip. He muscles him over. Turns around. Styles clash. Styles clash. Styles clash.
He hit it. Could this be
That's it. That's it. 3. Oh my God. Much like last month with Homicide, Daniels found some way, somehow, to muster up enough strength to kick out of the Styles clash.
Joe, I don't know who's going to be worse off after this match. AJ, Christopher Daniels, or you.
This isn't about me. What a hell of a match. How can you not get into this? They can't believe what we're seeing.
Unbelievable. I'll be honest with you, Joe. I almost rang the bell on that one. I was going to call that myself.
AJ Styles earned so many people's respect. He's beaten Colt Cabana. He's beaten Homicide. He's beaten so many. But the tide has switched. The fan support is by the Fallen Angel as AJ signals for a second Styles clash.
If he goes for it, he might be going to the well once too often. I wouldn't
Daniels counters. Jackknife pin. Jackknife pin. No. Oh my God. Another near fall. Oh my. Lariat. 2, 3. Beat him. Spinning lariat stealth the end. Good God, what a match. What an effort. What a bunch of great athletes. This is one of the most unbelievable athletic contests I've ever seen.
What's wrong?
Balls Mahoney not correcting his prediction, but AJ Styles, what a corkscrew lariat, hitting Daniels after so many minutes of a hard-fought war. You've got to give it up to both these men. But right now, AJ Styles retains the Super Indy title for now. But he's got Chris Sabin to worry about. The winner of Super Indy 3, rightfully entitled to that championship, is Chris Sabin. But right now, it's Styles' moment of glory.
hear chants start to echo throughout the building. And disturbingly so. What an insanely competitive, unbelievably exhilarating, remarkably exciting Super Indy title match. Daniels and Styles face to face center ring. Are we going to see a handshake? We do. Both men showing the sportsmen and the athletes they are. Styles and Daniels. And here comes Chris Sabin to claim his championship. Sabin winning Super Indy 3 a few moments ago. He embraces with these men as well. Styles and Daniels had an athletic contest that wasn't about the belt. It was not about the belt. It was about pride. It was about respect. It was about showing who was really the best out of those two. Styles gets the win, but now Sabin gets the championship. The official presentation is now.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we well know, the final title defense of the Super Indy Championship and a successful title defense by the phenomenal AJ Styles, but we are joined by the Super Indy 3 champion, the future Chris Sabin.
Won 3 matches tonight to get that belt. A very deserving participant. Still undefeated here at IWC is Chris Sabin.
So don't forget about the fallen angel, about the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. And then maybe they'll say, hell Sabin. I think maybe that Daniel Styles is getting a little old. Maybe Sabin and Styles. Maybe Daniels and Sabin. But the fact of the matter is, this isn't mine. It's yours.
AJ Styles, always a class act. Chris Sabin, the rightful and deserving champion, and it couldn't go to a nicer guy.
Prohibition Styles and the future, Chris Sabin.
AJ Styles showing the class act and the sportsman he is as the era of Sabin has begun.
underway already. Tag Team Championships. My boys, M-Dog 20, Matt Cross, and Josh Prohibition against Southern Comfort, Chuck.
Hold on, Joe. Hold on, Joe.
What?
We know your alliance. We know your alliance with the now known as the, what are these guys calling me? Check my notes here now. The Burning River Brigade. I'm talking about.
I wasn't informed of that, by the way.
Well, regardless, we know about your alliance with these guys.
What are you talking about?
If you don't mind, I think in the interest of fairness, I'm going to take over the calling the action in this match. And you, my friend, try to stay impartial if you would, please.
Have you been in my bag again backstage?
I haven't. Thank you very much. Thank you, Joe. Now, as you can see right there, the opponents and the challengers, of course, I'm talking about Tracy Smothers and Chris Hamrick, the good old Southern boys, if you will. I'm talking about Southern Comfort. Now, Tracy Smothers, Tracy Smothers is almost going for that. There's a 619 right there of sorts. And a couple number of baseball slaps to your boys.
What do you mean, my boys?
Well,
hey, there we go.
Yeah.
Well, remember what happened last time these two teams square off. The referee got knocked out inadvertently. Chris Hamrick was blinded. He gave referee Bryce Remsburg a tombstone pile driver. That's why Bryce is here tonight. He's still hurt. Chris Hamrick inadvertently screwing himself out of a tag team title shot because Josh recovered, hit the drunken driver, and pinned Hamrick.
Poetry in motion, look out! Oh! A somersault plancha over the top rope. Chris Hamrick, who has unbelievable agility inside that ring. Folks, you would never look at Chris Hamrick and suggest that he has great agility, and he certainly does. Double noggin knocker. Kind of puts your boys, I'm going to refer to them as your boys here tonight. We know we're talking about Max Cross and Josh Prohibition. Those two are on cloud 9 right now, swinging at nothing right now, Joe.
You know, regardless of where my allegiances lie or where you think they lie, I will give it this. Chris Hamrick, beautiful toe pick and heel away cover kick out. And Chris Hamrick, probably the most underrated wrestler in the entire world today.
That very well could perhaps be true. Tag in now. Chris Hamrick comes on in. Double whip off. Both guys kind of go low. Sets up Josh Prohibition. Look at that. Double Russian leg sweep. This could be all. But no, look at the showboating by both. Chris Hamrick. Oh, nice double elbow drop right in the center. As what unbelievable teamwork. The two veterans in Tracy Smothers and Chris Hamrick. These guys, Joe, they've been in the ring a lot longer than you've been alive. That's how much these two have worked together over the years.
Great tag team unit. They deserve to be tag team champions. Just not our tag team champions. M-Dog and Josh are going to have a long way to come. I'm predicting it. Did you even mention so far that M-Dog 20 was in Big Japan Pro Wrestling last week?
I didn't.
Never commentate again.
What happened?
I jumped up before my knee.
Miles Mahoney, who joined us a little bit earlier on, might have pulled a knee while commentating. Joe, that might be the first person I've ever known to pull a knee while commentating. Oh, look at that. Nice elbow super kick delivered right in the chops. And down goes Josh Prohibition. The count, the two count only. Tracy Smothers in for a quick cleanup. Now the tag into Chris Hamrick.
Hey, Chuck, have you ever seen Matt and Josh's DVD? Passion for Pain in stores now?
Well, yes, every show they try to sell it to me, and I tell them, please, I don't need that DVD.
It's great. It's spectacular.
Well, the only thing I would use it for is a coaster, so I'm not interested. Thank you very much.
I want to tell them you said that.
Well, maybe you should become their publicist, Joe. Maybe outside of announcing, you got a job as an agent, perhaps. But nonetheless, inside that ring, with all the goofball annexes you see Matt Cross and Josh Prohibition display, they have to defend the tag team championships against two rugged veterans in Southern Comfort.
For the record, that was the loudest chop I've ever heard. Vicious.
And I suppose we're going to hear from you. Best match ever. This could be the greatest of all time. I heard that a few years ago, Joe. Get your own shtick.
What are you talking about?
Irish whip reversal. Both men. It looks like a little bit of a seesaw battle. Hamrick off from the fore end. Oh, Hamrick.
Quite a
took
spill.
A large spill, and I believe that he might have hit the steps on the far outside of the ring. There are steps over there, although it's tough to tell from our vantage point. And now it looks like Josh Prohibition is going to sneak up like a thief in the night. Yeah, absolutely. He's going to take advantage of it, and I can't blame him one bit. Look at that.
Look at this. Space flying M-Dog driver. The space flying M-Dog drop. Beautiful, beautiful offense.
Unbelievable offense. As you can tell, Joe, what the fans think about it. you can tell what the fans think about it, and unfortunately, your boys were on the receiving end.
Now you know why I'm such good friends with Matt and Josh. They execute aerial moves like that.
I tell you, they did a nice job there. I can't disagree with you anymore. As now Josh Prohibition has Hamrick's leg hook. Oh, 2 count only.
Did you ever sit back and notice just how nice Josh's hair is?
That's enough. You know, we don't need to go there, please, Joe. I don't need that. Look out, back body. Oh, my goodness.
Tremendous elevation.
Big, high, elevated back body drop. And now, Joe, I suppose that might be one of your teachings. Showboat a little bit after you can pin a guy.
Hey, I am a well-respected play-by-play commentator. Kingdom James comes out here every week and picks favorite. I love Sturdy James Keenan. I love CFL. Why can't I have friends? And why can't I talk nicely about them? Well, I'm remaining impartial, unbiased. I put over Southern. They're a great tag team. They're underrated. 4 decades of experience. They're awesome. I just happen to be friends with the other team.
Yeah. Well, you obviously happen to be friends with the other team, and it looks like right now that your friends do have the upper hand. And I'm not going to speculate as to what your guys' whole relationship is.
You know what?
Quite frankly, Joe, I don't care.
There's nothing I can do.
Oh, nice inverted atomic drop delivered by Chris Hamrick, who desperately needs to tag Tracy Smothers of Southern Cover. Look out, snap suplex, nicely executed. Shades of the Dynamite Kid right there.
M-Dog's a lot smaller than Hamrick. You wouldn't expect a power move out of him, but he surprised me.
Oh, absolutely. You know, for just a young, relatively small wrestler, I mean, let's be fair, he's talented. I take nothing away from him, but, you know, M-Dog 20, Matt
This surprises me. Tracy Smothers distracting the referee, double team interference on the other side. Smothers should be experienced enough to know not to jump in the ring.
Well, he definitely wants referee Bruce Gray to check out what he should. Nice DDT in the center of the ring, and this could be the opportunity that Chris Hamrick needs to get the tag. Yes, there it is. In comes Tracy Smothers.
Oh, wait a second.
Referee Bruce Gray didn't see it, of course.
M-Dog with the distraction. Smothers. That Southern boy's getting more and more fired up. He can't get in the ring right now.
It's the old adage in wrestling, you can't call what you don't see. Nice butterfly suplex delivered, and now, wait, look at that. Unbelievable cockiness and egotism displayed by Josh Prohibition. Push-ups instead of pinning.
Now see, Chuck, hypothetically, if I did have some sort of relationship business-wise with these guys, I would definitely tell them not to do that. Well, see, but I'm just as a bystander, so, you know, they do it anyway.
Joe, well, that's where you're mistaken. We've never suggested that your relationship with them is business.
Jeff and Kingdom have.
Well, we in the back, meaning, well,
you're never in the back, you're always over there.
Regardless, those in the back are suggesting
call that. That's important.
More than business, but there, your boys have them covered well. Nope. Chris Hamrick now trying to rally the fans behind him. Give them that little extra rush of adrenaline that's necessary to get up on your feet. Side chinlock delivered nicely. And now here he goes. Nice Irish whip off the ropes. Goes Chris Hamrick. Backdrop. No, look out. Powerbomb perhaps.
Oh, man.
Could it be? Oh! Slammed him right into the mat. Chris Hamrick turning a potential bad move into his own offensive maneuver. And now look out. Oh! That's knowing where you are inside that ring. Is Chris Hamrick now, look out, a form of a superplex? No. Could it be a fisherman suplex? Oh my God. A form of a brainbuster right there. Dropped him right on the back of the neck, Joe.
Hamrick showing a lot of innovation. I think this might be his chance to get the tag of Tracy Smothers. Southern Comfort so popular. They won over this crowd in just one night with their incredible match with Jimmy Jacobs and fabulous John McChesney. And now they attempt to win the tag team championships.
This could definitely be the break that Chris Hamrick needs. As Tracy Smothers, they're only inches away. Yes, the tag is made. It's official. In comes Smothers. Look out. Oh, back elbow. And again, down goes Matt Cross. Clothesline. Off the rope. Another clothesline again. Look out. Drop kick. Catches him in the back of the head. Unbelievable. Tracy Smothers moving like a 22-year-old inside that ring. Arm wringer into a nice clothesline. Look out. Oh, and a spear right there delivered.
Gore. Sorry.
You call it what you would, I call it a spear. Boot to the midsection. Now Smothers has him set. Look out. Drives him down for the cover. And 2 count only. Nice
There's
save.
the tag team experience, knowing right where your partner's at. The
T-bone. Oh.
T-bone Prohibition plex by Josh.
Nicely delivered there by Josh Prohibition, who ducks a clothesline. Boot to the midsection. Perhaps, what could it be? Oh, a power drop.
driver.
That's a new one. He had the arms trapped for that.
He did. The arms could not block any of that blow. The head drove right into the canvas. Look out! Swanton splash.
Beautiful.
Delivered. The cover. Smothers down. No.
The one thing about M-Dog, he can execute just about any aerial maneuver from that top rope. He doesn't perfect just one or two. He perfects them all.
Nicely done in the ring by both Matt Cross and Josh Prohibition. Off the ropes. Look out. Springboard drop kick.
Glancing globe. I think one of his feet caught Josh in the face.
It very well might have. Catches him with the knee right to the back of the neck. And now on the outside, Prohibition and Smothers going at it.
This might be it. M-Dog's up top.
To the far corner, no.
Thought it was shooting star time.
Hamrick stops the maneuver. And now to the top. Perhaps a superplex coming up. It's both Smothers and Prohibition on the far outside. Superplex.
Dixie driver. The Dixie driver from the top. That's unbelievable.
1, 2, they got it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winners of this contest and the new IWC Tag Team Champions, the team of Chris Hentai and Tracy Smothers, Sabin Comfort.
What a tag team championship match. I'll give credit where credit is due. I love Matt and Josh, but that Dixie driver from the top rope by Chris Hamrick was more than any man could handle. Smothers and Hamrick knock off Matt and Josh and begin their era of tag team supremacy in IWC. Congratulations to Smothers and Hamrick, two deserving veterans finally getting their just dues.